Welcome back to the party, everybody. Morty's not feeling well today, but he's in my lap. So that's Morty, and I am your host, Lutch, aka TheIndianJesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Everybody hit that like and subscribe. You know I would do it for you, and let's party. Oh, man. We are going to have some fun tonight. Shout out to our boy, Nick Luchetti in the building. Welcome. Very good to see you guys. You may or may not have seen that I was over on the Project VO, Project VO Pod channel this weekend for a debate about Charlie Kirk. And so I wasn't really exactly sure, what we were going to get into, like what exactly are we debating? It was left versus right. So I figured it was going to be about rhetoric and who's to blame and all that kind of stuff. And, that's essentially what it was. But there was one person on the panel that really took it off the rails. And so I am warning you now. Listen to me. I am warning you now. This conversation will annoy you. The purpose isn't just, this is just entertaining. That's not what we're doing. We are breaking down the situation because of the fact that it was so annoying and how to prevent getting yourself into these annoying situations. So as always, if you cannot hear the video, please do let me know. Let's dive right in.
For the past, since it happened. So I want to kind of get everybody's opinion, everybody's stats on this. We'll start with TheIndianJesus. We'll go from left to right, and we can open it up.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't necessarily think that blame is the best way to be framing all of this, but it's very clearly an underground memes over politics culture that created this opportunity for somebody to get the ultimate troll. If we are putting it in a left-right paradigm, there's no question that the left has been significantly more violent and more cheering on violence and just vitriol in general. Especially in the way that they speak about anybody. And it's not just the voters, and it's not just the people at the top. It seems to go all the way through. And I definitely think that we all could, as they're saying, turn down the temperature. I think we could all do that, but I don't think it's the place of the left, who has been throwing all this vitriol and really kicked it up. They're not really in the position to be saying you guys should turn down the temperature. I, as somebody who has gotten a lot of that, especially during the Rona days and the jab and all that, I got plenty of that, and so I'm in the position to be like, okay, I agree with you that we shouldn't ratchet this up, but you guys need to recognize where this all started and what is the ideology behind this.
Gotcha. All right.
What a brilliant opening from a brilliant man. Shout out to Quamtech, who joins us on that debate panel a little bit later. Welcome to the party. Said like and shared. My goodness. Thank you so very, very much. You guys know that stuff is easy and free to do, but it helps me out so very much. It does not even matter if you think anybody's going to click on the link. Just by you telling YouTube X or Rumble that I want more people to see it, they will show it to more people. Thank you so very, very much, sir. I think if we get to the point where you're up here, we definitely going to have to pull you up and see what you had to say. Welcome, brother. Welcome. The ideology behind this.
Gotcha. All right. Tyler, you're up.
Average debate enjoyer, recently moved over to YouTube. I have more subs on YouTube in less than a month than I had on like 4 months of Twitch. So hit me up here now. That being said, the person at fault is the person that pulled the trigger at the end of the day. Inflamed rhetoric is all over the place.
If that wasn't part of the opening statement, because I kicked myself a little bit, like, very clearly, I'm talking about turning down the temperature, and then I'm talking about left side, right side. But I did open up with the, I don't think blame is the right format, but I wish I would have been able, that's a good way to open this.
Pull the trigger at the end of the day. Inflamed rhetoric is all over the place in politics on both sides, and most of it, 99.9% of people don't see as a green light to go kill people. Absolutely. TheIndianJesus has a lot of good points from my right-wing version of this argument. Absolutely. That we saw Stop Asian Hate. That was a thing for about 9 months where they were blaming MAGA for attacking hate crimes against X people based on some stupid study with terrible methodology. And then the crime statistics came out and that completely vanished. No one saw it again. We saw the shooter that used a manifesto that had great replacement theory in it. And we got 6 months of Tucker Carlson and Donald Trump are trying to get people killed and blah, blah, blah. And then when it's on the other side, it's, we just all need to move past it. Their ideology doesn't matter. It's just like, just all move past it. This is bad. That being said, I also
It's like that pandemic amnesty, right?
agree that we should kind of move past it. I just kind of see that the right does have a leg to stand on with that argument. And it goes all the way back to Obama with not even being able to say radical Islamic terror because the evil, bigoted U.S. will come down on innocent Muslims here. We just can't trust them. So I have a long list of things from that. On the other side, my left-wing points, I don't need any documents for because those come from my head because I am technically left of center. You wouldn't see me online, though, because most of the left online is crazy. So we're going to have fun.
All right. Fair enough. All right.
Shout out to Tyler. Shout out to King Nirvana in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. So as soon as I seen it was Mel, I knew how it would go down, and it did. But entertaining for sure. You locked in. I got some good clips. So hopefully we see you in more like this with a more worthy opponent. Thank you, sir. Yeah, that's kind of how you break into these things, and it's a very specific type of debate that I can have because I am not the stats and numbers guy. So if we're going to talk anything about, specific policy or anything, like I'm not that guy. And so it's more anything that is philosophical or conceptual. That is my wheelhouse. But welcome to the party. We are at we're at 1.1 speed on the video. Let me know how that is. It's a 4-hour stream, so we're absolutely not getting through all of it, but there's a bunch of places where we kind of go in circles, so we can skip past it. But the faster it is, the more we can get through. But obviously, I want you guys to understand it. There's a lot of talking over, so just let me know. Faster, shorter. You know what I mean.
The left online is crazy, so we're going to have fun.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Mel.
So I do have a bit of an opening. It's more of a meme, but and I also have the follow-up. So I hope you're okay if you maybe taking twice as long and doing twice as much. Oh God, you all froze.
You
already asking for more. Already gives everybody 5 minutes. I need twice as much.
got the mic.
Oh, okay. No, I froze. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's what happens, Mel, when everybody is quiet.
But yeah, so hello, and actually my slideshows. I don't have a slideshow you need to see. It's for me. Hello. So Jake invited me here very graciously after I missed the last opportunity, but he gave me a very vacuous prompt about Charlie Kirk. So first I want to point out with things like this, we're going to probably have to pinpoint where the goalpost is. Okay. And so
So you can move it.
My intro is as general as possible. It's what is the purpose of debate? Joseph Joubert says the aim of argument or of discussion should be victory, but should not be victory, but progress. Some people might think of it as Plato and Socrates or Glaucon arguing, or debate club, two sides of the debate, hash it out, or maybe a third conclusion is reached. But
Yes, that was an oat. Not only a trans, not only a furry, but a Canadian.
Hash it out, or maybe a third conclusion is reached. But I've really only seen that in debate clubs. But that's not what debate means for my opponent, I think. I think that it means that they're going to have performative strength, performative integrity, and performative certainty. And I feel, and I'm going to try to demonstrate that today.
So I may or may not have spoken to Melanie before on a Raging Tomato panel, but I don't know who that is. I have never had any substantive interactions, and yet already, as I start my opening statement with "we shouldn't be trying to blame," and then agreeing with Tyler saying that it's clearly the shooter's fault, then I'm performative now. Like what? Already ad hominem.
Okay. Not just by pointing it out, but by showing you what that actually means. Now, let's start with TheIndianJesus, what you said. The left is more violent. And that is not borne out by any research done on that subject, especially if you look at literature reviews.
Shout out to Tyler, who comes in clutch with these numbers.
Or just general reporting on the subject, the whole range of sources that you could look at that would be credible, at least.
Could that be because they didn't include things like any of the summer?
Okay, we'll get into that. Jesus, put a note on that. Put a tab on that.
I still have to wrap it up with who's to blame.
Then why did you directly address me? If you don't want me to talk, don't directly address me.
And I'm doing double duty. So
yeah,
I'm just going to say very quickly, it's the right that needs to turn out the temp, but we can debate that more. And for who's to blame? Well, I think gun culture, for one thing. If this person had a knife, it might have been a lot harder to do what they wanted to do. But more importantly, it's political extremism. When people like Charlie Kirk radicalize people into political extremism, that basically causes extremism from the other side, because that is the nature of political extremism. They escalate each other from on either side. So if you can't see that, I can demonstrate that Charlie did it with his own words. But I feel like,
He did it with his own words. He is dead, and he did it with his own words.
See that, I can demonstrate that Charlie did it with his own words. But I feel like, without a specific topic, there is a bit of a prompt, I guess, but I can't answer anything too directly yet.
Oh, okay.
Can't answer anything too directly at all, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
All right. Well, with that being said, we do have somebody in the background. Cassell, is that one of the individuals that you?
Oh yeah, Jason's.
That's
Okay.
the partner I got from my
Okay. Cool. Well,
Jason's cool.
Yeah, see, that's another reason why we need more lefties around, guys. I would have loved to pull up a lefty that I know is legit. Like if Boxer's around, I would have loved to bring a Box up on this panel. Gomtech came in. But I came in late, and honestly, I wish I took the time to really drill down on some of my points. Of course, I had the patented Guam-Tech struggle streaming too. Yeah, and that is, as you'll see, the what's the word? The accomplishment that Melanie did. The accomplishment was throwing so much bullshit that none of us were able to drill down on anything. Now, I think I did a pretty good job when it comes down to what was the fascism. But again, getting ahead of myself. But that is the debate tactic. It is just throw seven. Well, it's this and that 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 and that. And those are 7 different points. It's like, okay, well, I can't address all 7 points at once. I only have one mouth. The Gish Gallop. I'll call it out every time we see it.
That's
Okay.
the partner I got from my
Okay. Cool. Well,
Jason's cool.
Okay, Jason. He popped out. I think there's some issues that he's having with his camera or
Which one?
his internet or something like that. I sent it in the back chat.
I had one more point. Sorry.
Go for it.
The means over politics point that Indian Jesus made. I agree. That's what they're doing. That's why I'm trying to make Charlie Kirk into their George Floyd, return fire sort of thing. No pun intended. Where
He would have to do a bunch of drugs and then cause his own death for that to happen.
Return fire sort of thing. No pun intended. Where it's literally, Charlie Kirk himself has said things that are memeable. Like he thinks children should have to witness live executions on TV. So, maybe we can just enjoy a laugh, because comedy really is the last bastion of.
I'm so confused. There's like a question mark thing on the actual chat here, but it's in the place where, like, if you star to save it for later, what does this question mark mean? I don't know. Anyway, so contrarian, they contradicted themselves. I think that pretty much sums up Mel. Well said. King, so I think it's a 50-50 chance Mel is being a troll most of the time. Possibly, but number one, that doesn't mean that if there are points thrown at me, whether they're trolling or not, if I can't respond to it, then they win. So you may be completely correct, but that still doesn't remove the need, unless you are able to call it out because, oh, you're being a troll because you said this, and on a different stream you said this, or yesterday you said this, or whatever it is, then unless you can address it directly, you can only play the hand you're dealt. And I don't have any knowledge that this is trolling. See, it's on here too. It's on the screen too, right? You can see that little question mark on Nick's thing. Why is it doing that? I don't know what it means. Anyway, all right, let's dive back in. But yeah, exactly. The troll or not, we're here.
Maybe
This, and you know what? This is going back to Dave Smith and Douglas Murray. Okay, Douglas didn't really come to do anything but a grandstand. But once you're there, you're there.
we can just enjoy a laugh, because comedy really is the last bastion of free speech, and I hope you would agree.
Okay, that's a lot being said there. A lot to kind of go through. We'll give Cassell a little bit of time to see if he can get back in. You know what? If it doesn't look like he's popping back in, but if he does, we'll shoot him back into the open convo. I think that's good. We'll start with you, Indian. You had a response in the middle of Melv's opening. We can.
Before that, well, shout out Dylan Soup. Welcome to the party. And resident furry, ex-furry, orbiter, president. Wait, you're furry? What? Dylan, I did not know this about you. I'm not judging. Okay, I'm judging a little bit. I'm not hating. I am judging. Welcome to the party, brother. Go on. Oh. Pertains, I think, there's more than a touch of autism associated with that character. Nobody could be that socially inept without trying or having a deficiency of some kind. Well, we definitely know that there is a huge correlation with trans and autism. So it's a good guess. So I hear you. Just an idea I have. She would seem smart sometimes and genuinely flip. So it could be all who she is. Just an idea I had to want to put out there. We'll definitely keep a lookout for that on points that maybe is it more about the moment than the point that she's making. And again, that is a man. I am looking at a fox with the name Melanie. Like if I was talking in real life, I wouldn't make any extra effort to say she or he. I'm just going to talk to you the way I talk to you. I see the name Melanie. I'm going to go with she. I don't care.
Start off with you, man.
Yeah, just in general. Ironically, everybody else was calling her dude and man and she, like, whatever. I don't know. I mean, I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but, you know, Tyler was, there's a statistic going around that I think it's something like 74 more times likely that the right is going to be violent than the left. But when you look into the studies, they don't take into account, you know, the Michael Reinhold, the guy who, you know, just the day before had like his whole Vice special, and then he shot the guy just because he was a Trump supporter. And you know, the numbers don't take into account things like that. And I mean, I'm sure if we have the time to dive into those things, again, I don't understand why you guys do this. I guarantee you, I have not said anything that amazing in the last 5 minutes that it's worth just going back when we're done. And so that you could be part of the conversation for the next 5 minutes. Whatever makes you guys happy. But I'm just saying, I don't get it. Things like that. And I mean, I'm sure if we have the time to dive into those things, there's many other instances that I think, would all agree is political violence that doesn't come into play.
Do you think that there's like any possible singular metric we could use to evaluate this?
I could clarify, given those two studies that were brought up. You brought up the media reporting study, and that was in the case of Stop Asian Hate. What they did was go through about 700 different articles, and if the race of the offender was mentioned, then they documented. If the race of the offender was not mentioned, then they didn't document it. So we see a lot of times reporting in newspapers, if the race isn't mentioned, generally it's not a white person, and then it is mentioned if it is a white person. That phenomenon has been documented multiple times. And the other study you're referring to only looks at domestic terror. So we don't count any of the protests and rioting after George Floyd. We do count January 6th. We do count all actions by the Boo-Boo Boys and all those right-wing groups, but we don't count a lot of actions. We don't count Antifa until they were labeled a domestic terror group. And on top of that, domestic terror is only a tiny fraction of political violence. So
yep, and that's what they use, the domestic terrorism. So it's not technically direct domestic terrorism, therefore it's not counted in the political violence. Like, just obfuscating numbers just like they obfuscate words. This is why I will only say they, them with the transes. Easiest to remember. I don't have to completely play into their craziness. Well, I would argue that that is playing into their craziness. I think that it is let's again, we don't know what Mel looks like. Let's say Mel looks like the dudest dude, the most brolic dude. Like, I'm probably, if I were to meet this person in real life, I would probably use he, him pronouns. And I wouldn't you know, if it looked like a dude or if it looked like Tyler, like, I'm not thinking about, I'm not going to give you, you know, play into your craziness by trying to expend my mental energy, especially when I'm in the midst of a debate and you're my debate opponent, to try to address you properly. You said your name's Melanie. Good enough. Melanie equals she to me. If you don't like it, if you're Z, zer, they, them, I don't fucking care. You're she or you're he, whatever's easier for me.
Oh, if we're just measuring,
that's a bar.
One metric, but yes, the right reading was
no, let's give him time because he's cooking right now.
Labeled a domestic terror group. And on top of that, domestic terror is only a tiny fraction of political violence. So if we're just measuring one metric, but yes, the right reading looks bad in this one metric. If we do all political violence, it's not even close.
Okay, so I don't
not even close.
Think you know how data sets work, for one thing. Secondly,
I don't know, you just rattled off all of the problems with the statistics that I put out there, and legitimately so. But I guess you just don't understand how studies work.
Stupid.
Okay, so I don't think you know how data sets work, for one thing. Secondly, when it comes to these things, we can actually talk about who has a greater share of victims from political extremism, not from political violence, political extremism, right?
What can you tell me kind of the difference between the political violence and the political extremism, just so we can kind of clarify
Because there's
that?
a lot of things you can define as political violence, like a riot can be political violence. But when we want to associate like mens rea to somebody's actions, and we associate that that acute form of violence with an extreme political motive, these things often, there's more than just correlation going on there.
There is. He's right. What's your pronoun? So I don't.
She. Thank you, and I appreciate you. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, I am liberal at the end of the day. So I will say that, again, my points went uncontested because all I got was ad hom back. But in this data set, they only account for extremism. Would you consider Luigi Mangione executing a CEO of a drug company because he didn't like drug companies and the regulations around him? He was pretty extreme left-wing, and his ideology went into that?
No, because he was personally affected by it, so I call it vigilante justice.
That's what the judge said as well. So something like Luigi Mangione.
So, and if this is a one-on-one, so okay, are we saying that vigilante justice is mutually exclusive from political violence? You couldn't go after somebody personally because of a political issue?
Shooting somebody in the back of the head is not considered something that would be counted as political extremism, but the Proud Boys going out and doing property damage would. So,
for one thing, they're not victimized. Well, the things that the groups and the things that the Proud Boys target are not what victimize them.
Yeah. So
even taking a step back from that, I think a more important discussion, because again, I think we'd all agree that somebody who's going to enact political violence is on the fringes of whatever ideology they have, and that doesn't have a place in the marketplace of ideas. And so, when you zoom out, and you can't take just these individual people. All of you guys, I started off saying left and right, but I completely agree that the shooter is the one to blame for Charlie Kirk. And then we have to step back and look at the reaction. So when you see a fringe person on the right doing something crazy, then you don't see nearly the same type of positive reaction as what we saw with Charlie Kirk and many other situations like that. That's what I've talked to you guys about, looking at the reactions to these things, that we don't want to become them. There, a lot of the problems that we have with America are because of people thinking and reacting like that. That is precisely what we want to prevent, even if it's like, oh, we can get one back. Like, you know what I mean? Let's go to our running poll, because I did not expect this. 91% of you said there is no justification for political violence. That is a wild, maybe there's a misunderstanding, but I would argue that if you have a authoritarian dictator killing people in the streets, then kill those fucking cops. What are we talking about? Action as what we saw with Charlie Kirk and many other situations like that.
That's a good point there. Mel, like for example, when what do you call it? Like when the what was the Democratic Congresswoman that passed away, you didn't see people on the right making TikToks celebrating that. Like that would be kind of like an example of that, wouldn't you say? Like that the left is kind of more entwined with celebrating death of right wingers than it is on the other side.
So already we are giving a very clear standard of what we are talking about. We are talking about a thing happens, and then the reaction of the people on that political side. So if something happens to someone on the right, then we're talking about the reaction of other people who didn't do that thing who are on the right, versus something happens to someone on the left and the reaction's there.
I don't know. Like if you're talking about strict politicians who weren't political extremists in their own right, then no, I don't see that. But you guys look at like victims of the system, like George Floyd, and celebrate that. So
and what I would have, again, if I had more time, obviously it's very difficult to manage time and just throw so much bullshit. So like I would have been like, yeah, people were making fun of George Floyd. I don't know how many people were actually celebrating George Floyd, and even if they were, then that I here would still condemn that. And it's just a very, very different situation, unless you want to strip it down to people laughing that somebody died. It's like, okay, yeah, that's bad. I'm not about that, but that there it is. But to try to conflate the two is ignorance. It's just ignorance.
Celebrating. I don't think. Well, I don't know. Let's ask you guys. Tyler, did you see people on the right
Jason
celebrating?
Here, so.
Oh yeah, let's go, Jason. You haven't spoken. What's your thoughts on everything here? Cassell.
Jason.
Is that you're Jason,
I still don't know what his name is.
right? Or are you John's?
Yeah, I am not a John.
Why? I don't understand why people don't just like call you by like. There's a reason they ask what you want to type in the thing. Like it's not random that this says the Indian Jesus live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Like that's not random. I put that there because I want people to know that I'm the Indian Jesus. And then later he asked if you can call me Lutz. Sure, but like just go by Castle or Cassell or whatever the fuck it is.
Jason.
Is that you're Jason, right? Or are you John's?
Yeah, I am not a John or a Jason.
Well, there's more than
I would have loved to do that, but surprisingly, January 6th didn't come up that way.
Richard next.
My bad, bro. They told me your name was Jason, so I just went with that.
How many Cassells are there in this space?
It's all good. We don't have to worry about that. What we do have to worry about is political violence, and I assume
Good
I'm
segue.
arguing on the left of this. I just want to make sure. But could you repeat your question, Jake, just so I can have a more thought response there?
Yeah, as far as when it comes to the political, like the assassination of Charlie Kirk, we saw a lot of people on the left celebrating this. They were tearing down murals, etc. My question is, when it came to George Floyd, did you see any individuals that were celebrating on TikTok to this degree, celebrating his death, etc.? Like, is it fair to say that it's equal or it's one side or the other?
I don't know if it's equal. I think I'm sure you could argue that the amount of folks you're seeing at this point may have exceeded that of when George Floyd was. I mean, back when George Floyd was killed, I even saw people on the right mourning it more than I'm seeing people on the left mourn Charlie Kirk. And so you could argue that. I do think I remember people celebrating George Floyd for sure. I know Steven Crowder posted kind of skits of him being stepped on the neck or kneed on the neck.
I wasn't making fun of
it.
Or whatever.
I remember that. That was I believe they were trying to demonstrate the knee on the neck thing. It wasn't it wasn't mocking. It was them demonstrating the position.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Okay, that's fair. Just to finish my point, I think there were people on the. I think people on the right, even outside that demonstration, I don't think Crowder was a fan of George Floyd, and I'm pretty sure people in his community or his show had no issue at all, kind of like celebrating that moment after the fact. And people. Well,
this is why we break these things down, because in the moment I didn't necessarily catch the specific wording. But what did Castle just say?
His show. I don't think Crowder was a fan of George Floyd, and
I don't think Crowder was a fan of George Floyd, but all of us were fans of Charlie Kirk. So it's not about the level. It's not about the basic action that happened. It's our personal connection to what happened. I didn't know who George Floyd was before I saw that video. Meanwhile, every single day for the last how many years, I've seen Charlie Kirk's face on my phone while I'm laying in bed. Like, I mean, not quite, but you know what I'm saying? And that is something that explains so much of the explosion. Even that there was a school shooting that same day and that didn't get a lot of media attention. It's because I don't know who the fuck those kids were. That doesn't mean it's not sad. Yeah, it doesn't mean it's not sad. It just means it's not a direct personal connection to me. They'll say, who is celebrating George Floyd's death? Especially when the general consensus was that the guy shouldn't have died, and we get to the bottom of what happened here. I mean, there's definitely been memes of like, 7 years sober and stuff like that. But that's number one. That's definitely way later. I don't remember any of that kind of stuff at the time. And, hey, in 7 years, if you want to make a joke about Charlie Kirk and his face, he got a smaller coffin because of his face or something, that's not the end of the world. But maybe wait a little bit. Maybe wait till the next day before you start making jokes.
Right. Even outside that demonstration.
Or at least be funny.
I don't think Crowder was a fan of George Floyd, and I'm pretty sure people in his community or his show had no issue at all, kind of like celebrating that moment after the fact. And people.
I would have loved him in. Wait. Are you were a fan of George Floyd?
People were using his drug use as an excuse for why he was killed too. It's still arguing to this day that that's why he died. So I think people over time in that regard have started to push that issue that was, I think, kind of a national mourning into a more political, polarizing moment now. And I think the left wasted no time this time for Charlie Kirk to do that. I think for George Floyd, you just saw that happen a lot slower. And
Exactly. And so, again, it's not like I just did this weekend, but it's not like I memorized what everybody said. And exactly,
for Charlie Kirk
the left wasted no time. Ready to go, dancing and celebrating openly. And Dylan said even the dark humor memes weren't inherently directed at George Floyd. Yeah, I agree. It wasn't like we're glad that this guy specifically is gone. It's the notion that somebody who was in this situation that brought it on themselves, that we're not going to cry over it. And Mel is here specifically saying that she wants to turn Charlie into the right's George Floyd. Like, we're not going to have a George Floyd. We don't celebrate that shit.
Do that. I think for George Floyd, you just saw that happen a lot slower. And I think a lot more people were mourning when that.
And I keep interrupting him, I know. But going back, the other thing too is there was no dark humor. There was just celebration. Again, if you were going to make a joke, that would be one thing. It still would be in bad taste. But like, a joke would be one thing. Saying, yes, I'm glad this person died in front of his family. That's not a joke. That's not humor. For something, anything bad to happen, at least make it funny. I was just about to say that. The Lefty Kirk crash outs are unhinged and mean-spirited.
Bingo.
Yep. 100%.
For George Floyd, you just saw that happen a lot slower. And I think a lot more people were mourning when that first happened. Over time, I think you've even seen like George Floyd deserved to die because he used fentanyl or whatever. So I think that's the difference there.
Okay. And again, deserved is a very loaded word. If you just asked me, yes or no, did somebody who took too much fentanyl deserve to die? I mean, it could go either way. Deserve in a moral sense? No. But in a physical sense, like, yes, that is what should happen if you poison yourself.
Okay. I mean, fair enough on that. I mean, like going back to this with the George Floyd situation, I would say like when George Floyd, kicked the bucket, we saw a lot of riots happening. I think a lot of the points that Jesus was talking about is that when you saw somebody, get murdered or, overdose, whatever the case is, whatever the argument is with you guys, the point is that the left rioted for 6 months and 30 people died during those riots. With the Charlie Kirk situation, the reaction on the right was you saw a lot of people praying and going to church. And
guys, real quick, hit that poll for me. I don't want to keep this up too long. I just want to get an idea of how many of you are familiar with Melanie.
And firing people and canceling their free speech.
Okay, we can go into that if you want.
The Gish Gallop. A point is addressed, and then boom, before any acknowledgement can be made that was right, that was wrong, we're just moving on right to the next thing.
Free speech.
Okay, we can go into that if you want.
Jake, somebody I reached out to was literally like, I would love to, but I do not want to lose my job. Soyaddle, do you know who that is?
So maybe Soyaddle has terrible ideas that deserve to be fired. And maybe Soyaddle is smart enough not to fucking put those ideas on the internet.
Was literally like, I would love to, but I do not want to lose my job. Soyaddle, do you know who that is?
That they don't want to lose their job because they didn't want to come on here? Or?
Yeah, but talk about Charlie Kirk. So they're an American.
And so then, of course, that is the victim mentality of I can have these terrible opinions and I don't ever have to back them up because I can just say, well, I don't want to get fired. You guys are all about, firing people for free speech. So I don't, and you never have to say anything. No principles, just positions. And on this one, not even a position. Pathetic.
Beta.
On here?
Mel, can I ask you Hey, Box! Welcome to the party. I wanted you there so bad, brother. I was hoping that you would come through and that you'd be willing to come up on the panel. I wanted you up there so bad. Welcome. I'm sorry, I'm going to judge furries. I mean, aren't we all? Welcome, brother. Very good to see you. our resident lefty. I'm very excited to see what you think about all this.
But talk about Charlie Kirk.
So,
You're an American.
Mel, can I ask you a general question? It may not seem
How dare you?
directly related, but it is. Is there no line to an opinion that you could have that is a reasonable thing to be fired for?
I don't know. Did you apply this logic when, Me Too was happening?
So again, this is going to be a pattern that you are going to see over and over and over and over throughout the night. Melanie will be asked a question, and then she will respond with a question or a gish gallop of a million other things, not actually answering the question when there's clearly a point trying to be made. The point I was trying to make is that clearly, if somebody went into their, or not even, well, let me just play. I think I actually went.
Well,
So the question, I think I stuck to my question was: is there any opinion? Good job, Lutch. Good job.
I'm just asking you. Did you apply the same logic while Me Too was happening? If it's a no, it's fine. But that's the problem here.
Well,
I think
we can answer your
only ever
question
works
if you
one
want,
way.
but when you have a conversation and I ask you a question, you answer the question. You don't ask me a question back. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. But my question is there no limit to, because it's your opinion, that's unreasonable for a boss to an employer to fire you?
Sure, but where were you during Me Too saying that?
Wait, this is where I need to get better at articulating. Okay, I have a point that I make. I have a point that I want to make. I just have a couple of yes or no questions. Can we do that? And then you can respond however you want. I need to do that. And I need you guys to help me with that. It's just, I don't know what it is, but in the moment, I'm setting up the questions. I'm setting up the line of logic, and I'm not preparing for the fact that people could not give me the yes or no answer that I'm looking for and take the conversation somewhere else. So I have to get better at saying, okay, look, I have like 3 or 4 yes or no questions that I'm that's leading somewhere. If you could just give me these 3 or 4 yeses or nos, and then you could say whatever you want. If I had done that, oh man, cooked. Except you're saying, sorry, I can't breathe. It's bullshit because you're getting air into your lungs to make those words come out of your mouth. Biology. The left is not very good on that. False confidence. That's not a project. I mean, that she is projecting false confidence, but we have to wait for the actual logical fallacy. But you are right. Like I said, I asked a guy I worked with many years ago now the same question, getting fired for work conduct. And the kid same age as me thought that you represent the place you work, meaning outside of work. And I think that depending on what your job is, there's more or less a reasonable thing to that. Like if you're working in a restaurant, then unless it's literally what I'm leading up to, and if we don't get there, I'll say it, but I'm pretty sure I get there. Unless it's literally what I'm saying, then there's very little that social media should be enough to get you fired from a restaurant. But if you're like a Fortune 500 company, you got to keep it tight, Bobby. You got to keep it tight. Don't say, fun fact, even furries judge and dislike furries. Can you blame them? No, we can't. But talk to us. What was how long were you a furry? When did this happen? Why did you stop being a furry? I need all of the information now, please. Well, for a boss to an employer to fire you. So again, we'll just run that back. Because it's your opinion, it's unreasonable for a boss to an employer to fire you.
Sure, but where were you during Me Too saying that?
Wait, sure what there is? What aboutism is, or sure what there's not?
Sure, there is.
Okay, so if there is, then why is this not one of them? Guys, don't forget about our Philosophy Friday playlist. Always a good thing to go back and relearn the basics. But in the context I was talking to him, it was about cannabis use. So like what if you're caught smoking weed or something outside of work? And again, I mean it depends on the job for sure. All right, we're getting Spark Notes. I'll let the video play, but I am interested in these Spark Notes. Okay, so if there is, then why is this not one of them?
Because we all needed you to say this kind of stuff during Me Too, but it all seems kind of one-sided from your end.
So again, what I was setting up there is there are such things that you could say that Melanie agrees with, that it's such a out there opinion that you could get fired for it. So my question was, why wasn't this opinion about Charlie Kirk one of those opinions that's wild enough to get you fired? Okay, so if there is, then why is this not one of them?
Because we all needed you to say this kind of stuff during Me Too, but it also
So you needed me to say things during Me Too, which you don't know if I did or not, and that's why this opinion is different?
What?
That's not an answer to the question. Not one of them.
because we all needed you to say this kind of stuff during Me Too, but it all seems kind of one-sided from your end.
I don't know. I don't understand the connection between.
All right, to kind of
Like,
answer that from my point of view, yeah.
Interesting. We're gonna make this a poll. Boxer, if you smoke weed outside work and go to jail or get a mugshot, I'm gonna stick with the mugshot because if you go to, I've been to jail and nobody fucking know about it. I went to jail in New York City and they're like, you got to see the judge. You're gonna. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait it out. Nobody knew about it. But so we'll go with the mugshot. If you have a mugshot for we'll stick with weed. If you have a mugshot for weed, is that justifiable to be fired? Shout out to Equality and Deference because vagina. Welcome to the party. Sorry, I didn't know if he was on Rumble or whatever, so I didn't get to the link as soon as I could. But thank you for being here. Said liked and shared again. Oh my goodness, thank you so very, very much. You guys know how much those likes and shares really do help the channel. Again, it doesn't even matter if you think anybody's going to click on the link. Just by you telling YouTube, X, or Rumble that you want more people to see it, they will show it to more people. Thank you so very, very much, and welcome to the party. Quality said your discussion with this crazy dude was frustrating. And yes, I will reiterate that this conversation will frustrate you. The purpose of watching this is not because we're having fun and it was so this, that. The purpose of watching this is to prevent the level of frustration for you and me in the future. Welcome to the party. King, so just about everyone knows why you would ask the questions you did, except Mel. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to give you. So let's try that again. Except Mel. Yep. All right, now back in. I don't know. I don't understand the connection between.
All right, to kind of
like,
answer that from my point of view, yes, there are absolutely limits. People should be fired if they're condoning violence. I think that's an obvious one. If you want an answer from me on that, I think what Mel is pointing out is that a lot of people who may have been towing a line there didn't deserve to be fired, whether they said that Charlie Kirk, if you're saying Charlie Kirk wasn't a great person, I don't think that's fireable. If you're trying to say something along the lines of, oh, he deserved to die and I'm glad, okay, then I could see if you're somebody who's taking care of people, whether you're a nurse or a doctor or a teacher or somebody who's taking care of people, that could cause some problems for people if they feel uncomfortable if they're on the right side of the spectrum. But I think a lot of that has been conflated to now there's like a database going out there of people being tracked and followed for what they're saying. And I think it's gotten a little bit extreme for what people are trying to do and trying to cancel people for. So I think I agree with Mel on that point, but to your point, yes, there is a limit.
They're not getting killed, right? I agree.
So far, no, I know that there have been
accidents. That's always how it happens. I agree that making a list.
Stations, yeah,
I agree that making a list of all these people is not the best use of time. I completely agree with that. You'll never find me trying to get somebody fired because of even crazy opinions, because I don't know, that's just not the way I operate. But that is not to say that it is okay to celebrate these things. And the reason I asked Mel about having an opinion is we could take it to the extreme. Okay, so I did actually get it out here. And if you're going to work and let's say you're not even saying it at work, but on your social media you're talking about how you love CP or you love something
crazy. Yeah, CP's crazy.
Then we all understand that it'd be like, all right, you at the very least you got to take that down or we have to fire you. And so I don't understand why this is a different thing.
Well, maybe because you reframed it, even though I already said yes, there is a line. It's supposed to be the right though who can show that they actually care about that. When the left points out that there is a bunch of sex pests who are in power, and we kind of need to hold them accountable instead of just being like, oh, I guess boys will be boys.
Yeah, you should check my channel. I've been raging about that ever since that press conference.
Yeah, Tyler.
What I should have done there is instead of just dropping, I was like, oh, I gotta tell you should check out my channel. Blah, blah, blah. I should have continued and re-asked the question, because as you saw yet again, the question is, why isn't this opinion one of those opinions that is justifiable to be fired for? And she said, because we want Me Too and this and that and boys will be boys and da 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 da. That doesn't answer the question.
I want to get you into this one right here. When it comes to, from what I've seen,
All right, Mel.
Mel's talking about the Me Too movement that apparently were people getting fired for what exactly, Mel? I'm not too sure on the connection here.
For sexual assault and harassment.
They were getting fired for that?
I can't think of any offhand examples, but I'm pretty sure if the point of the movement.
You can think of Andrew Cuomo, for example, like that whole thing was part of the Me Too movement.
Yeah. Oh man, you know the right. They were really going to bat for Andrew Cuomo. What are you talking about?
Yeah, like Andrew
Harvey Weinstein is an example. God damn it. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm just bad
yeah.
with names.
But he
Oh yeah. Other than Candace Owens, the right is so loud for Harvey Weinstein. Now, hey, listen, I'll be honest with you. I'm willing to listen to what Candace and Harvey Weinstein have to say. But that's because I'm open-minded and confident in my principles, and I don't think that Candace Owens has the power to convince me that a serial rapist is a good person. What she can do, however, is potentially give us evidence that he didn't, in fact, rape anyone at all. Just had a lot of shady interactions. But again, that's completely irrelevant to what we're talking about. I said, why is Fuzzy Nuts keep bringing up Me Too? Because she's got nothing else to say. Nothing else to say. All right, let's read all of this. Dylan said, came into this interest roughly around 2008, discovered it by accident. So my other interests, werewolves, animals, and animated stuff and cartoons, cross over into it, similar to other nerd and geek groups. You can meet several great people and also creeps and weirdos. The fandom took a turn politically around 2016. Gee, I wonder why. The interest of the hobby is better than the fandom. Isn't that always how it is? A thing is cool, and then the people who love that thing make it awful. Fair enough. Well, I'm glad you're in recovery, shall we say. Welcome back to reality.
Andrew
Harvey Weinstein is an example. God damn it. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm just bad with names.
but he got sentenced, right? He got in trouble for that and whatnot. But really quickly, Angry Snowman with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. He says, why does Mel have a problem with the right playing by the rules the left put in place? They started cancel culture, freedom of speech, not freedom of consequences, right? Mel, that one's to you. You want to respond to that?
Well, first of all, if we're the ones who made the rules and you weren't willing to follow them when we made them, then why should we care about following them when you want to use them? That just seems opportunistic.
And then you didn't actually believe in the principles behind those rules.
No, it just seems
well, you're going to do it, so we didn't do it. But I thought you presented this as we are doing the right thing, and that's why we should be doing this, because it's the right thing. And so then when other people don't do the right thing, and then you're like, well, we're not going to do the right thing either, but you still want the moral high ground of saying we're doing the right thing, but you're not. What? Not in my house, baby. Not in my house.
Well, first of all, if we're the ones who made the rules and you weren't willing to follow them when we made them, then why should we care about following them when you want to use them? That just seems opportunistic.
And then you didn't actually believe in the principles behind those rules.
It just seems opportunistic on your part.
But even if it is, I'll here it is again, an opportunity to concede some ground. Say, fine, let's say I am being opportunistic. Are you then not also being opportunistic? Those rules.
It just seems opportunistic on your part.
But even if it is, I'll grant you that. Let's say it is, that the right is being opportunistic and, we don't actually believe in that, but we're going by that. You were already in the position of, we believe this. We think that, you should be able to get fired if you misgender and things like that. So if you're saying now that shouldn't be the case, then you've been getting behind that principle for a very long time. So were you wrong then, or are you wrong now?
Well, I was wrong then by thinking that taking the high road would necessarily cause you to do.
I love how she gave an answer. I was like, are you wrong then, or are you wrong now? And of course, you would expect some drivel about, well, technically things changed in the landscape and this and that. Nope, I was just lying.
Well, I was wrong then.
So how the fuck do I know that you're right now?
Stupid. By thinking that taking the high road would necessarily cause you to do better. It turns out that by us taking the high road, we waste a lot of time, a lot of energy and resources, when you get to just say a bunch of memes and a bunch of one-liners that are basically thought terminating cliches. So I think, you know, the left is actually being savvy with the social media landscape and the political extremism that does occur in this space. We need to weaponize that against you.
Claudia said, as a wise hobbit once said, no principles, just positions.
Okay, so Mel's on the side of weaponizing that thing. Tyler, go ahead.
Rhetoric. Just to be clear, weaponizing rhetoric.
Going back
Weaponizing. Okay.
going back to what Mel said, I think
Ooh, 50-50 on the poll. If you get a mugshot for a weed charge, is that grounds to be fired in your personal opinion? We have yes, no, or it depends on the job. Nobody has said yes.
you are correct that there were definitely some people on Twitter celebrating George Floyd. It probably isn't the majority of Republicans. It probably isn't the majority of the party because Twitter only represents like the daily users, like less than 5% of the United States. But there were definitely some
But also Twitter's real life.
people doing that. I give you that, but you can't take a small group of the worst people, use that to build a monolith of the larger group, and then attack the larger group and say, "Where the hell were you?" Because that's how Islamophobia works. That's how racism works. That's how all of these group-based bigotries work. It's just not a good idea, even though it isn't just as bad as those things. The steps to get there are just as dumb. That being said, you are right to call that out, but the equivalency to George Floyd is George Floyd was a criminal who committed a crime that was being arrested, also left a fentanyl in the back of the police car, whereas Charlie Kirk has never done anything illegal, has never been convicted of a crime, was out there just giving his opinions in a very American debatey sort of way. So there's a bigger impact, and we see that kind of on the world stage. There's been moonlight vigils and candle vigils, and New York Yankee Stadium did a big thing for him, and other sports events.
So did the NFL, yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of another step in terms of accelerating the temperature. Is now we're going after people just who say things that aren't liked, even if you think there were negative repercussions to what he was saying. He was not directly involved in anything illegal, bad. There was nothing that he did that made
Aside from radicalizing political extremists on the right.
Correct. That's not illegal. Dylan said the left has gotten too comfortable in pop culture and online spaces. You should take a look at my TikTok. I made 3 different fucking, not even directly political. Like I talked about Jimmy Kimmel, which is TV, and then, you know, some other stuff. And people were like, can we get back to talking about TV? It's like, I bet if you agreed with me, then you wouldn't be complaining. But they're right. I want to keep that shit off that page. Yeah, until ex-lefties, savvy right-wingers start to beat them at their own game. That's what's happening right here, baby. Okay, but that's allowed. This is America.
Yeah. And he was not directly involved in anything illegal, bad. There was nothing that he did that made
Aside from radicalizing political extremists on the right.
Okay, but that's allowed. This is America. Yeah. If you don't like that, you can leave. But that's part of the laws. You're allowed to do that. And getting, if you do that, that doesn't justify you getting killed.
Right. So it's, well, no, I would agree. Just like it doesn't.
So then why is that relevant?
Let me get the DC question on play as well, too, because a lot of that was being cheered on by Republicans as well. I don't listen to a lot of mainstream like talking.
Connie says, thought terminating cliche. That's a fun phrase, though. Yeah, it is indeed a fun thought terminating cliche.
He has to just stick to mostly.
But here's the thing. I'm not the guy who's pulled the trigger.
Yeah. But
you said you're a guy. You said you're a guy.
He had to just stick to mostly.
But here's the thing. I'm not the guy who's pulled the trigger.
I wish so much that I had heard that. And I just would have been like, it's ma'am! Oh, I would have busted.
Mainstream like talking heads and just stick to mostly.
But here's the thing. I'm not the guy who's pulled the trigger.
Yeah, but
well, that's meaningless to tell me that. Because I'm not actually endorsing it.
Oh, you mean like how it's meaningless that you just, all of the things that you said that applies to nobody on the panel? You can't make this shit up. It's like, why can't you see that these things that you're saying, the logic applies to other things? If it is logical, then it is logical. It is not conditional on your feelings.
Yeah, what I am saying, though, is we can dance the fuck on this grave and even piss on it because, honestly, the guy would have done it to people like me.
That's just untrue.
Well, he doesn't know I exist.
Charlie Kirk would have assassinated you. Nope. You and like where I don't understand how you could even come to that conclusion. Do you think that there's no trans people, furries, lefties, whatever the fuck, whatever group that you want to say that are more well known on the left than you? Did Charlie ever call for anything like violence against them, or did he explicitly state over and 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 over again that we don't want that? In one ear and out the other.
We can dance the fuck on this grave and even piss on it because honestly, the guy would have done it to people like me.
That's just untrue.
Well, he doesn't know I exist. So in a realistic sense, it's untrue.
Yeah, but
in
people
an
have died
abstract
that
sense,
he did know they existed and he didn't dance on their grave.
the fact that he did it for George Floyd, who, by the way, doesn't matter that he's a
Did he though?
criminal. We're all
Doesn't it though?
fucking criminals. Most of us, most Americans, when surveyed, admit to committing at least some sort of crime. And so none of us are innocent.
Well, I mean, I would say we might be
So again, notice how far off topic we have to get for Mel to make any kind of point.
offenders, but criminals is a different category, Mel.
How dare yeah,
Yeah, like speeding. Like if I get a ticket for speeding, I'm not a criminal.
They got caught because policing is disproportionately higher in black.
This is kind of the same thing as, well, we're all a little racist. Like, I mean, maybe you are. Yes, I happen to have a criminal record. Well, technically, I was actually just thinking about this because I got arrested 3 times. One time they didn't follow up, so my right to a speedy trial, so charges would drop. Second time, it was just don't get in trouble for a year and your record is expunged, and that happened. And third time, I had to go through probation stuff, but same thing, don't get in trouble a year after that, and it was expunged, and so everything is expunged. So, am I a criminal? The world may never know. Shout out to Catholic Light Apologetics. Welcome to the party. We are going over this debate that I was a part of this weekend. Oh, hey, another debate con person. Welcome to the party. Very good to see ya. Have you been seeing the Andrew Wilson versus 5 that's been coming out? It's been fun. It's been fun. Welcome. Well, so to be fair, the trans furry appeared to be the sane one of the two in the Kirk situation. They were just minding their own business. The next thing you know, the feds want to talk to you. That is a real indictment of your mental health. That is a real indictment of your mental health if the trans furry is the reasonable one. Yeah, but again, those text messages seemed fake as fuck, but that's a conversation for another day.
I'm not a criminal.
They got caught because policing is disproportionately higher in black neighborhoods. Good point. But
no, I used a different example.
How dare you judge your brothers and sisters based on something that you would do yourself?
How dare you?
I would not do fentanyl or resist arrest or use counterfeit bills myself.
Okay. So as far as your comment goes, when it comes to like we're all criminals, first off, like I think there's plenty of people here that are offenders. Like if you speed and you get a ticket or something like that.
But Charlie Kirk wasn't. So how is it relevant to anything?
That's offenders. But we're not. That what?
Would you rob a grocery store to keep your family fed?
I've never robbed a grocery store to keep my family fed. No.
Hypothetical
Or a church where they give you food.
Do
For
not
free.
handle hypotheticals.
Oh,
Like
In the hypothetical, no, I would not steal. I would go to a church or a food bank.
nobody here probably would do that.
So yes, the answer to the question is yes, but that is again conceding ground. I don't. It's not. It doesn't lose me any points or any position to say that yes, if there was no other way for me to get food and I was dying, and the only way for me to get food was to steal, then yes, I would steal. Is that the situation that George Floyd was in? Then what the fuck are you talking about?
Nobody here probably would do that.
So yes, the answer to the question is yes, but that is an irrelevant hypothetical because of the fact.
Well,
that
arguably,
there's
George Floyd was selling fentanyl to feed his family.
So he couldn't get a job? No,
Whoa,
come on.
yeah.
We're in America here.
Actually,
It's America, Jack.
employment can be very accessible or not very
Maybe
accessible.
Aladdin just trying to feed his family with fentanyl. Shout out to AJW, the sweet angel baby Aladdin. Let's not think about the people that are dying from that fentanyl.
At least he's not robbing a bank.
George Floyd needed to feed his family, and the only way in America
he's not
to do that
creating,
is
like,
by
political
selling drugs and using
extremists.
counterfeit bills.
At least-
She didn't just say that, right? She didn't just say he's not creating political extremists. That did not just come out. I cannot believe I didn't hear that. The only way in America
he's
to
not
do that
creating,
is
like,
by selling
political
drugs and using
extremists.
I've already brought up the summer of love. I've already. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, did you see the thing I tagged you in? I forget what it was, but I tagged you in something in my community tab post. Or for bills.
At least he's not creating political extremists who actually will shoot up schools.
I would argue in the exact opposite. I bring you back to the summer of love.
Okay, let's unpack.
I'm awesome.
What I said.
And an extreme amount of people. You disagree that cities were burned down in that summer?
Here, let me show you what you're supposed to do when someone makes an outrageous statement. You unpack it, right?
So
I said that.
Down in that? Okay, now I gotta go look. Summer?
I said that, that America's going to have more school shootings if you have somebody who keeps radicalizing people, right?
Yes, I use the destiny tactic. You just keep going, and I'll ask you again when you're done. It's a good tactic. I'm sorry.
It's going to have more school shootings if you have somebody who keeps radicalizing people, right? And so the obvious question then becomes, does America have a school shooting problem? Yes, it does. Does America have political extremists radicalizing people and touting gun culture? Yes, they do. Still correlation. Do these things tend to rise with the more right-wing extremist rhetoric? Yes, they do. So I would posit that there is a very strong chance that there is causation with people saying things like, you need to go out there. This is actually, no, it's more fun to quote. I'm not gonna misquote him because that is a fun to quote.
What happened?
Same line of those people radicalizing them from one side or the other towards minorities, towards a distraction wedge issue. We've created people who think that shooting up schools is the issue. And
did we though? Hold on. Did we though? Or did I address in the very beginning that of course crazy people exist, and in a left-right paradigm, you're going to fall unless you're dead center, which is usually not how these people operate. You're going to fall more on the left or the right. And that's the conversation that we're having. I agree that there is deeper things to talking about than left or right. But if we are forcing it into a left-right paradigm, there is no question that this particular person, and then a lot of the violence in general, is from the left.
Let me jump in.
I'll let somebody jump in.
Tyler, go ahead.
I'm looking at the Mother Jones database right now, and if you look at the per capita of the 170 events they've recorded in the last 30 years, white people who would generally vote Republican, listen to Charlie Kirk, are underrepresented in those mass shootings, where we have trans people and black people overrepresented in those mass shootings. So calling Charlie Kirk a fascist and saying
represent people how, as the shooters or as
per capita based on their demographic, yes. As the shooter.
As the shooter.
Yes, so it'd be 65% white in the country, 54% in terms of the study, whereas trans mass shooters make up 0.5% of the population and are about 4% of the mass shootings, most recently, I think, in the last 6 years or so. So your argument could be thrown at
sample then.
It's not all of them. So Mother Jones is recording all of them. Every single one. It's not a sample, it's all of them.
So first of all, if you want less trans people to shoot things up, my advice is stop attacking them with the healthcare system, with their
who is attacking trans people on this panel? Oh, nobody. Fake victimization.
Stop shooting people up. I say stop calling them a fascist.
There you go.
Well, that's not enough. No, because that's not political action. Do you understand the difference between a word?
No principles, just position.
You understand the difference between the word?
There's no principle.
Okay, you're cutting me off. I'm responding to Tyler. There's a difference between a word and actually passing legislation that limits somebody's right to be themselves in society.
Okay. Well, you vote again. Wait, I think I hit it. Answer that again. I think I hit that.
Be themselves in society.
Okay. Well, you vote against that. Again, this is America. That's how laws are made.
Well, yeah, if you hold referendums, but otherwise sometimes you can't do that.
That'd be a First Amendment violation, and that's not happening. You're not saying, nobody's saying you can't be who you want. They're saying that we don't have to participate in what you think you are. That's it.
Oh, okay. So trans kids are allowed to be themselves?
No such thing as trans
themselves.
Oh, in Florida?
Yeah, absolutely. They just can't go into the wrong bathroom or play in the wrong sex.
They can't pretend to be somebody else. That's the whole point. Is to be yourself.
To participate in that. We don't have
Yup. Shout out to the big JC. Welcome to the party. We don't have to get into it now, but should we do a little side quest? Put one in the chat if you want a side quest on AOC real quick. TOT got AOC elected. I think she's washed up. She washed up like last year. Yeah, so, my larger point was if at least Anna or more broadly the two of them, Cenk and Anna, if they're going to get some type of okay, they're better now. There needs to be a mea culpa. Fuck it. We're doing it. We're doing it. It was over. Yeah. Give me a sec. Shit. Let's save that to watch later. Go to watch later. Oh, it's already there. Look at that.
An increasing.
So this was AOC's words about Charlie Kirk in front of Congress. Or
already proceeded with a resolution that brings great pain to the millions of Americans who endured segregation, Jim Crow, and the legacy of bigotry today.
What?
We should be clear about who Charlie Kirk was. A man who believed that the Civil Rights Act that granted Black Americans the right to vote was a mistake.
Wrong.
Who, after the violent attack on Paul Pelosi, claimed that, quote, some amazing patriot, unquote, should bail out his brutal assailant.
Yeah, why did he say that? Does it have anything to do with the extreme levels of bail reform that we saw in other states? Oh, don't worry about context.
And accused Jews of controlling, quote, not just the colleges. It's the nonprofits, it's the movies, it's Hollywood, it's all of it, unquote.
Hey, shout out to equality and deference because vagina. Starting us off with a $4 PayPal. And of course, a treat for Morty is going to take it. Yay! He took it. And there's a treat over here that he didn't take before. Thank you so very, very much. Starting us off on that swole goal. Guys, remember how fucking puny I am. I need your help if we hit that goal. I got to do push-ups every $2 is a push-up. Thank you so very, very much. And of course, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. Very, very much appreciated.
Jews of controlling, quote, not just the colleges. It's the nonprofits, it's the movies, it's Hollywood, it's all of it, unquote.
I mean,
Quote. His rhetoric
that's not what he said, but you know.
and beliefs were ignorant, uneducated, and sought to disenfranchise millions of Americans.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has decided to defame Charlie Kirk after he was assassinated on the floor of the House of Representatives. And of course, this features the usual moves that these left-wingers go to,
you have the most
where they
annoying
condemn
name
the
ever.
political violence. They say assassinations are bad, but then proceed to list off a bunch of things that are either completely untrue or misattributed or taken out of context to Charlie Kirk to essentially signal the base that it was kind of justified. Charlie Kirk was
Yeah, so, and I mean, again, I will drop the link to AJW in the chat if you would like to see that on your own. But, yeah, if we're going to get some type of red billing and some rebranding from the Young Turks, then that needs to be addressed. That needs to be directly addressed and say, hey, we ain't about that. Fuck this bitch. We are done. We are done. There's a whole other video about that one. It's a little weird to make arguments this way. Which way are we talking about? If I want to go after Roe for being a bad law, I'm not going to spend a ton of time talking about how women deserve fewer rights or whatever. I'm going to attack it on the merits of it. So yeah, legal. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. All right, let's dive back in.
It's a really hateful individual.
Can't pretend to be somebody else. That's the whole point. Is to be
don't have to
yourself.
participate
So,
in that either. You don't have
I
to
think we need to start dividing bathrooms based on left-right issues, right? So, like, you people would definitely go into the right-winger bathrooms.
Yeah, public schools where we do that
Yeah. At public schools, we separate people by left versus right.
on a state level. Yeah, the public
No,
schools
we
are
don't.
decided by the state government, and the state
I see what he's trying to say, but no, they don't.
government controls who uses what facilities. Some states allow this, which are the ones being sued by the double Trump
So
administration.
how do they know which kids are left-wing and which kids are
So
right-wing?
I don't really know. I don't really understand how this is
On a
connected.
state level.
I don't really understand how this is connected to political violence. I think that my question about whether or not the
Right. So when I can connect it.
Hold on. Let Indian Jesus finish the thought, and then we can go to. Well, you know what, Cassell, you've been kind of quiet. What? Indian Jesus, go ahead, finish your thought, and we'll get to Cassell on his thoughts.
And so just a quick note to those of you who are in the after party and don't like that, I'll be like, all right, you shut up, you go, and then you go, and then you go. If I don't do that, it turns into this. No, I was just saying, I think we're getting away from the topic at hand. And also notice how, because Jake is the host, whereas I am the host in Discord, I respect the host's channel. And again, if we all agree that the shooter or anybody who is going to be in the position of that shooter is wrong, then we have to step back and look at, again, the reaction from everybody else who saw that. And it's not comparable.
Okay, Cassell, thoughts on what Mel and was
so
saying?
I think these are kind of like, sorry, what's your name? Indian? Do you go by Indian Jesus? Do you have another name?
Yeah, you can call me Lutch, like clutch without the C.
Yeah,
Lutch.
I think
JC said, I was talking about the Charlie framing criticisms of 60s law as MLK being a myth. It just seems like the will to be inflammatory is superseding the will to actually have any sort of productive convo. Okay, agree, disagree.
what Lutch was saying.
Hey, we got Adam in the building. Welcome to the party on the warpath, indeed. And I mean, Castle was nice. He was a nice dude. And when Guantek came up and then Melanie left, it was actually a really nice conversation. But this is where all the blood sport is.
Is we were getting off topic, which I agree. And for me, the argument that, if you don't want trans people to shoot up, schools, you have to treat them better. Well,
I have not seen that. I would like to see that.
That's kind of a little bit extreme for me. And because the opposite would be like what they were arguing. If you don't want right-wing shooters to shoot up schools, you should treat them. So I think that we all know that shooting up people is bad. Even if I treat you poorly, you should not be doing that. And I'm not arguing that we should be treating people poorly, but I think that we all know how extreme shooting is. So I'm not going to argue that.
You don't know how I could disagree that somebody sitting down and having conversations is not more about not more about being inflammatory than being productive. You don't understand that I would think that maybe having those conversations and allowing people to speak up is a productive conversation, and maybe the inflammatory aspect is a secondary part of it. I'm not going to say that all of us here, I'm not going to say that I wasn't amazingly happy to see this fucking fox here, knowing that I would be able to make a fucking billion clips out of it. It doesn't mean I don't believe anything that I'm saying. That doesn't mean that anything that I am espousing is not the reason that I'm espousing it. This is the same kind of thing that Mel gets into, and she just starts throwing around grifter. Oh, you're a grifter. And she literally says, anybody who makes money from doing stuff. Like, okay, sorry. Then I disagree with you. I don't know what else you want from me.
But I think that we all know how extreme shooting is. So I'm not going to argue that. My argument would be that we all know that what's going.
Hey, shout out to Madness. Welcome to the party. So Newsom versus Pritzker, who comes out on the bottom? All of California. That's who.
Going on recently is terrible between both sides. I know that your argument on your side alleges that the left's reaction has been more extreme, but I also don't think that matters as much either. Like, how many times are we going to go back and forth between the two sides saying, well, you killed our guy, so we're going to kill your guy, just because the reaction may be lopsided. At the end of the day, people are still dying. And so my point is that at the end of the day, that we have somebody in charge who's supposed to be that leader to tone down the rhetoric. And I mean, come on, since 2016, have we seen America become any closer as a country, or have we become more polarized? And I think it's obvious that answer is we haven't become any closer, and that's because of failed leadership. And you can point that out to Joe Biden, and you can point that out to Donald Trump, who's had 2 terms under his belt, and the second term is really not going any better in terms of bringing the country together at this point. So
I think I get my piece in. So
look at him to help us get there, and I really want him to help us get there, but there's no indication that he cares about that really, and things aren't getting better. So I think it really falls on him to tone down the rhetoric.
Okay.
I don't disagree that everybody needs to tone down the rhetoric. I just think that the people who have been saying Hitler, Nazi, all these kinds of things for that decade are in the position to say that. I think there needs to be. So the other thing that I wanted to say before that it moved on, but Castle was talking about how people are more divided, and I would say there is a lot of division, but I think that where maybe in Trump 1.0 it was pro-Trump and anti-Trump, more of a 50-50, maybe a little bit more on the other side, but it's a pretty decent split. But now, yes, there is a lot of division. But it seems like there's a division between the 80% and the 20%. And that division is huge. But most people are in agreement with each other. It's just that other 20% is so radical that it seems like we're all fighting. That's what I wanted to get out there. And I think that especially within the Republican Party, there's, there is division, but it seems to be an organic moving of the evolving of the party, where I think that, MAGA and the GOP, instead of being the same party, it's going to kind of split off into its own thing, or one ideology or whatever the fuck you want to call it. One is going to, kind of lead similarly to the Libertarian Party, where they have the Chase fucking gay, whatever guy. And then you have the Mises Caucus, where it's two different camps and they're very different. But because of the underlying principles, that's, exactly what we saw in Trump's first term, where all the Republicans hated Trump until they realized he was going to win, and we're like, oh, that's our guy. I think I don't see why we wouldn't see more of that with more people who aren't on the fringe left, which is becoming smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Or maybe a better way to say it is people who are not on the fringe left is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. That decade are in the position to say that. I think there needs to be a mea culpa that, okay, we, everybody's guilty here, but we clearly were a little too much. We clearly are the side that just had somebody shoot someone in the neck. So yes, we all, left and right, are going to bring down the temperature, and we are leading that charge because we initially led the charge of ratcheting it up.
But that's not going to happen, right?
Yeah, because your side is fucking insane. You agree that that's what should happen, and you're saying the people of your ideology cannot do that. I guess it's civil war then. What actually led the charge of ratcheting it up?
But that's not going to happen, right?
I mean, maybe that's what I think
possible to happen for one side to be like.
I'm literally saying
that is unreachable, but I mean that's what I think should happen. It's crazy how normal the conversation is when Mel's not talking.
That's actually what I am saying too. Like, the only reason we're not showing that exact kind of sympathy or empathy, however you want to say it, that you're expecting, is because you're not giving it. And
why should we? Why should we? I thought you were the one. I thought we were evil people. Why would you expect us to give anything? I thought you are good people, so you should, regardless. This is exactly the same thing that Anna Kasparian said to Destiny on the Piers Morgan panel, where Destiny was like, I'm not doing shit until Donald Trump does da 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 da. And she was like, hold up. Are you that much of a loser that you build what you do on a daily basis based on what Donald Trump does? That's pretty gay, man. That's pretty gay. Shout out to Sea Striker. Welcome to the party. He said, man, this furry guy is dumb. They're not sending their best, guys. They are not sending their best. Welcome to the party. So people that specific ideology literally went for blood. Exactly. So Trump not bringing down the temperature right after CK's wife talked about ultimate forgiveness. Trump said he could not do it. I mean, I agree with the panelists that that's probably not the best thing to say, but I'm not gonna say that I don't understand it. I mean, yeah, there you go. Adam said the left is not going to stop. The right will call out their own. The left will not. And so that's where again it comes back to, we need to maintain the moral high ground. We need to be better than the people that we're saying are doing bad things. If we just go and do the same thing, then it's the end. Then it will continue to devolve, and it will devolve faster and worse. And there's no upside. Just like, well, fuck it. If they're going low, I'm going to go lower. That does not help anyone. And it takes a mature person. It takes the more mature, the bigger person to see that. And so if you are going to get down and dirty with the fucking libs, I mean, go for it, I guess. But that's not what my principles are, regardless of how shitty they are. Sea Striker said, but yeah, these people are just mental children. They all want the authority of adults, but all the privileges of childhood and kid gloves. Facts. Facts. Shout out to Morgos Hammer over on Rumble, said liked and shared. Thank you so very, very much. Again, guys, you know that stuff is free and easy to do, and it helps out the channel so very much. Again, it does not even matter if you think anybody's going to click on the link. Just by you telling YouTube Extra Rumble that you want more people to see it, they will show it to more people. Welcome. Said, since when did the left give a shit about what Trump says?
What?
Since day fucking one. What are you talking about? Have you heard of TDS? That's caring what Donald Trump says.
That you're expecting is because you're not giving it. And, I just
no, the left has gotten where they've gotten by thinking they're the bigger people and then using that thought to do whatever the fuck they want. So you could think that you're being the bigger person and be wrong, but also you could be the bigger person and not be wrong. It's like both parties are like, well, we're the moral party. And of course, it doesn't even work like that on that level. But fine, you have a left winger and you have a right winger, and I'm on the right side. No, I'm on the right side. They both think that they're better than the other person. What is the next step then? What do you do when you believe that you are better? And they implement the bigotry of low expectations. Adam said the right needs to focus on getting our house in order. The left is a waste of time, as they have shown who they are. I mean, I don't disagree, but they still vote, man. They still vote. C-Striker said, no, we've been calling in action and taking the high ground. The bigger people and the left just keep chucking mud. And so I don't disagree. But again, so then what? So then we just bring on the downfall of society that they want faster? Is that what we're proposing? I agree when we get to this point, but then what is the implication of saying that? There's no point, so we shouldn't try. How is that going to fix anything? And like, I don't have kids, but you guys have, a lot of you guys have kids. Why does it matter what the left is going to do? Why does it not matter more what the world is going to be like for your children? Fox says, the resident lefty, my platform would be jobs and houses. It's so easy, but it's beyond them. It's because you're on the wrong side of history. Yeah, we're a bunch of kids. Who gives a fuck what these fucking loser, online, terminally brain-rotted people think?
Because you're not giving it. And, I just want to remind you that the whole point of that I was making about not accepting trans people, it wasn't a distraction. What is a distraction is when right-wing media tells people that this is something you need to be outraged about, and that radicalizes people into, guess what? Political extremism. Cass made some good points. We could.
So even right there, the condescension that you've been told to be outraged about Trump for a literal decade, and very, very little from what you thought was going to happen from that fear actually happened. And most of what didn't really affect anybody. And now you're going to say that I'm the one who watches content and I'm told how to feel?
Come on, man.
Now that is projection. It's not how it works. Morga said, but Box, if we give people free shit, why have jobs at all? Good question. I don't know if that's what Box said, but where are we? Yeah, I'm just saying it's going to be a religious thing. I can definitely see that. Maybe not immediately, but I definitely see that happening. Adam said the left does vote, but the independents are where the right needs to focus our energy. They swing the vote. Who do you think watches this shit, man? Who do you think watches this shit? The people who are like, I care about this stuff, but I'm not a sycophant for this, that, the other. I want to see the debate. Box said, go debate against jobs and houses. We will get to better health and such as we go. It sounds a little simplistic, but fair enough. C-Striker said, all lefties have, at least ones that aren't openly rabid psychos, is condescension. Oh, and it's only just begun. Like I said, this conversation will piss you off. There is a larger purpose.
Treat them better, although I think since they vote for conservative politicians, it's especially in that case that conservative politicians need to treat them better. So, but I'd also just agree with the whole both sides thing, because it's the right
both sides
wing who consistently turns up the heat every chance they get.
In reaction to what?
I'm just in reality, like it's a bit.
But Mel,
like
Mel, really
I
quickly,
waited my turn. I waited my turn.
Okay, Mel, finish your thought. I just have a quick
Just fucking droning on and crying about not fucking talk. Like, shut up.
comment though after your
Say a
thoughts. Go
thing.
ahead.
Land the plane.
It's been both the left and the left has both supported, much to my dismay, the people who are grieving Charlie Kirk and celebrated it at certain points. So often with
Guys, if you are new here, please do hit that subscribe button. I am live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it. I think I'm going to go live tomorrow to finish whatever we can't cover from this. And I drop new videos every single day. It is a good time, and the puppy will love you forever.
nuance, look at Jimmy Kimmel. I don't think he necessarily celebrated Charlie Kirk's death, but he had a nuanced opinion on it. And just
Did he?
lastly, you were talking about Cassell, like America is better being less polarized and more like in union. I think Charlie Kirk was a polarizing figure who knew that the more polarizing shit he says, the more he can get outrage from the left and get attention based on that. He grew.
Yep. Who was it from Max was saying that, yeah, you post things that are outrageous and people want to see it. Welcome to the internet. Morgoth asked Box if we give all people shit, why have jobs at all? And Box said, I'm anti-free shit, but I am pro helping people that need help. We are the richest country on the face of the planet. We can figure something out. What we got right now ain't it. I mean, okay, fair. But if you're going to advocate for that, then have something to advocate for. If you're saying, I don't know what to do, but this ain't it, like, okay. And then
he says, the more he can get outrage from the left and get attention based on that. He grifted off of that, and that leads to the exact violence that he's now a victim of.
Grifting.
But
I was going to a place and letting anybody speak to you. I'm sure the big JC couldn't handle the conversation because I was actually responding. But same kind of conversation that he was just bringing up. Matthew said, I can't believe Disney pushed back against the fascist regime and retired Kimmel. He's back, baby. He's back. All of that. And he's back. I believe starting tonight or tomorrow, but he's back. The left could do whatever the fuck they want. Lie on air. Refuse to apologize. Lose your company millions of dollars a year. And still keep your job. Shout out to Nicholas Smith. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So y'all can't even figure out what you were born as. Never mind trying to figure out the war problems. Probably leave that to the adults. I agree. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Very good to see ya. All right, let's dive back in.
And said he's now a victim of.
Grifting.
But
I was going to a place and letting anybody speak to you and having a impromptu debate. How was that grifting?
Because again, there's a cycle between generating outrage from the left.
Okay, can you define
more
grifting?
attention?
Can you define what you mean by
money
grifting?
from
Maybe I'll agree with you, but I don't know what you mean by that. Can you define what you mean by grifting?
Yeah, somebody who does something like media or something like that for the money.
Somebody who does media or something like that for the money. Oh, damn, I'm a grifter. Sorry, guys, I'm a grifter. And speaking of which, give me your fucking money so I can give a treat to this dog. Look how fucking sad he is. That's the sad side. When he's on this side, he's happy. When he's on that side, he's sad. And only your money will help.
Mel, really quickly.
Like somebody who will sell out their values, they don't
every
actually
person in media is a
care
grifter?
about media, for example.
So even if
Think about, like, the artist.
you do it for money, then you're a grifter?
Yeah,
about the
that makes media grifters. That makes every journalist a grifter. That makes every news reporter a grifter.
So,
Yeah.
for one thing, media literacy is an entire course that you can take. And guess what? It teaches
I took a course in college, and it said that if you have opinions and you're making money, then it's grifting. It was my second year.
you that's not how media is supposed to work. There are people who definitely commodify it, and I say that there is grifting in mainstream media also, but definitely not all media, and certainly not independent media.
Mel, really quickly, when you were stating like
independent media, what do you mean? Yeah, that's what grifting is supposed to mean. When somebody is going on, whether it's online, on TV, whatever, espousing ideas that they don't actually believe in solely for the money. That is not what Turning Point was. That is not who Charlie Kirk was. That's it. That's not who he was.
Yeah.
Mel, really quickly, when you were stating
independent media, what do you mean?
There's also a difference, right, between like paying your bills as like a newspaper company and being like a slop, what's the word for it? Paparazzi rag, so that way people will just buy your shit off the racks in large volumes.
Yeah, what excuse are they going to give when they're like, we didn't want to look bad in firing you, but you're still wasting a shit ton of money, so bye.
So that way people will just buy your shit off the racks in large volumes.
Who is that? What does that have? Are you
like
saying
tabloid magazines? You don't know what a tabloid is?
I said who. It's like, you don't know what a tabloid is? I didn't ask what. I said who.
So that way people will just buy your shit off the racks in large volumes.
Who is that? What does that have? Are you
like
saying
tabloid magazines? You don't know what a tabloid is?
Saying who are you saying that in reference to?
There's a difference.
My grammar's better than yours.
Can't
you answer a question?
Their bills.
Am I here?
And tabloids.
You guys hear me? I keep asking questions, and Mel just keeps
this explains
right on by.
This explains to you what a grift is.
A grift is money made dishonesty as a swindle.
Yes.
So okay.
You're saying
making
that
money,
Charlie Kirk does not believe in.
No, it's dishonest because again, they're not doing it because they care about media. They're not doing it as a media person. You're doing it because media makes money.
You're a mind reader now. You're a mind reader.
Again, the difference is like a newspaper paying their own bills versus a tabloid magazine, which only produces stuff so people will buy it in large volumes.
I just read your mind, you're a grifter, because I know you're doing this for the money.
Well, who called out? Was it King Nirvana saying that she's a big troll? This could be a damning moment.
Large volumes.
I just read your mind, you're a grifter, because I know you're doing this for the money.
Yeah,
I personally made $0
an aspect of what Charlie Kirk did or said. Notice trying to return back to the words that she said. I'm just going on the things that she said. You said it was tabloid-esque. Something about tabloid. So, okay, I know what a tabloid is, and I know who Charlie Kirk is. Draw the connection for me. Maybe I'm stupid, but my stupidity doesn't mean that you don't have to make your arguments. You say, well, it's bad. I'm going to say, how is it bad? Well, if you don't know, then oh my God. It's just like Big JC. It was like, if you don't agree with me, you must be so deep in your biases. Even though I gave a very clear, logical explanation for my position. Now, you are free to disagree with my positions. As I said, agree to disagree. But no, I'm right, always right, you're stupid. The left. More guys say, give me your fucking money. I can't tell what you want. I want your money. Give me your fucking money. And also, I really do want to have a reason to do some push-ups. And I'm just not going to do them without you. What is the tabloid aspect of that?
So it's creating outrage from the left by going to these events and creating clippable segments that people will record on their phones and post online.
So saying opinions.
And as people get more outraged, they give him more attention. Attention is something that on the internet gets you more clout, and clout is something that can get you on shows that pay more money.
Also known as the majority of the left.
Now, really quickly, when you're talking about the outrage, right? Let's say, okay, Charlie Kirk's doing these debates on campuses, and it outrages one side of the political spectrum. Which
I would just let you know that Mel does, in fact, have balls. Well, actually, I don't know, but born with them.
Which is the left. The way they go about it is, for example, burning down Teslas when Elon Musk decided.
Oh, I didn't know how far we were going to make it into this. And I didn't know if we were going to get to this part. If you're not paying attention, you might want to pay attention.
The way they go about it is, for example, burning down Teslas when Elon Musk decided to vote Republican and join the Trump, the Trump team. Now they're going over there and vandalizing Teslas. I'm just saying, like, when you're saying, hold on, Mel, when you're saying that the right wing is stimulating this type of action, wouldn't you say that you need to start with the left and say that, guys, violence is not the answer? is debate. Debate is the answer, which is what Charlie Kirk represented. You guys don't want to debate. Instead, you want to go and burn down Teslas and etc. I think this is the problem here, right?
So my first of all, you're getting me excited. I want to ground myself a bit.
Fucking pardon? That was already a weird thing to say. But what?
First of all, you're getting me excited. I want to ground myself a bit. How often is this really happening? Because the more it's happening, the more I'm going to get excited. The burning Teslas thing.
Okay.
What?
Well, you don't want to vandalize anything. No, that's the thing.
If I may,
more than 50%.
Okay,
No,
so
I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm responding to
Did
Jake.
you just
I'm sorry, the host was talking to me, and I would much like very much
thing
like
that
the
we're
time to
exactly
respond.
talking about? You're
I reclaim my time. I reclaim my time.
Burned down.
I reclaim my
You're
time.
not on the
I
side.
reclaim my time.
Celebrating
I
this-
reclaim my time.
I don't care.
I
So,
reclaim my time.
You
I-
made both.
I'm responding to the host right now, not
made
you.
Both of my points.
I'm not
You
responding
not
to you right
only
now.
tried to
Okay. You're
say,
wasting your breath.
Okay. Really quick, guys. Mel's not going to stop. Mel, go ahead and respond to what I said, and then we'll get into Indian Jesus.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll put that point aside
We'll
because
get it-
really got triggered.
we'll get
But
into
no,
that after that.
No,
Go ahead. Mel.
the left has 100% stood around and be like, we're not going to respond to these people. And you know what they do? They try to make it more personal. I'm going to start doxing the students at your place who are immigrants. I'm going to post dead names and old photos of your trans students. Yes, that is what they do.
No, Mel, you do realize that they dox people. It's the left that doxed the right first, like throughout the years, Mel. Like that's the thing. Look, I'm just telling you this.
Exactly. It's like, are you under the? I don't know how old this thing is. Are you under, like, if you're under 25, you have some excuse. You have some excuse for being this retarded. Because, like, you just weren't there, or you were a child when this was going on. But, like, don't come up on a debate stage and act like you know shit and be extremely condescending, throwing ad hominems all over the place. And then you can't even say shit.
Like throughout the year.
Or rather, let other people say shit, because as soon as their words come out, oh no, I'm wrong.
Here's Mel. Like that's the thing. Look, I'm just telling you this. When it comes to the response of the left, they burn down shit. That's a problem. Would you say that is an issue that needs to be addressed, right, Mel?
At least the left's able to target people who
Do you believe? Hold on. Do you believe?
I don't know if you could say, but I was like, she's not going to answer the question.
Yes, right, Mel?
At least the left's able to target people who
do you believe? Hold on. Do you believe that is something that the left needs to stop doing? That's my question. Yes or no? No. Okay.
Not until the right actually stops radicalizing political extremists.
So again, we have just like Destiny. I don't care. I don't have my own principles. I don't live my life by anything except reacting to you. When the right does this, then I'll do the right thing. Why don't you just do the right thing if you're a good person? Oh, because you're not. You're a piece of shit.
So you do believe in violence, right?
Because
No,
at least we're accurate.
So you do believe in violence. Go ahead.
We're accurate too. We just don't say the radical shit that you do because we don't actually believe it. Yikes.
Indeed.
So
well, yeah,
I think
violence
all the
exists. What the fuck does that mean?
You're reclaiming my time.
Wait, no, you put words in my mouth, so I'll specify.
Mel, we're shooting out to Indian. Go ahead.
I believe.
Wait, are you going to stop listening me, or are you going to let me explain to you why you're wrong? I believe violence exists. I don't think violence.
Mel, you literally just said that you're okay with them doing this stuff. You literally just said that. So
I'm
therefore,
okay with being violent towards people who increase domestic terrorism like Charlie Kirk did.
Okay, there you go. We got it. So Mel's okay with having violence against people that follow Charlie Kirk that are radicalized. Okay.
Increase domestic
Come on, guys. 99 cents. Don't let me put the filter up. Come on. We got it. 99 cents. Matthew King says he doesn't seem to understand that the left burning shit down is what radicalized most of us, not Charlie Kirk. Exactly. I feel stupid for not bringing this up. Dilly. Well said. We'll give it another 30 seconds before the filter
violence
goes up.
against people that follow Charlie Kirk that are radicalized.
Done being Mr. Nice Guy.
That increase it. Okay, fine. Go ahead, Indian. You can go ahead and respond.
That's the end of the debate. Every point that I'm bringing up, Mel, is explicitly.
How is that the end of the debate?
Hold on, Mel.
Well, no, you just said. Okay,
hold on, Mel. You got to let him respond. Mel, you got to let him respond.
is the
Mel.
performative strength I'm talking about.
Mel, you got to let him respond. You
Oh, I
gotta let him
think I won this debate. There's no topic, idiot.
Okay.
There's no topic. There's no topic. Wow.
Okay, there's no debate here. Indian, go ahead and finish.
I love how we all just realize that, like, okay, just buy into their fucking bullshit and then move on.
Response here.
So everything that I've been saying has just been explicitly stated by Melanie, that it is, when I talked about that I agree that everyone needs to turn the temperature down, but the left is not in the position to say, you guys need to turn the temperature down and finger wagging, because it is the left that started this type of culture. And even though the right does engage with it, it is a reaction, and that it is a bad reaction, and it needs to be less of a reaction. But it's not of the people who have been, kicking this up to say, okay, guys, now that it's too far that I don't like it anymore. The other point that and to add on to that point, as I show you guys all the fucking time, let's bring it up. The Atlantic article that is saying, come on, Atlantic article. Hey, why is it everything else in Google it comes up if you've searched it before, except the thing that I fucking want to pull up? Let's declare a pandemic amnesty, says The Atlantic, who was raging about vaccines and all that stuff. Let's focus on the future and fix the problems we still need to solve. And my entire point about this was that, hey, you are not the one to say this. If I, somebody who was made a second-class citizen because I wouldn't take an experimental drug, if I want to say, okay, you know what? It was a crazy time. Let's move on. That is one thing. But you don't get to say, fuck you, 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 fuck you. And then I say, fuck you, but you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. I don't like those words. Let's turn the temperature down.
What?
Like, no, that's not how this works. You shut the fuck up. You sit the fuck down. You make me want to stop attacking you. That's your fucking job. Instead of sitting on high, well, you need to do this, and you need to do this, and you need to do this, you need to do that.
Shut up!
But it's not of the people who have been, kicking this up to say, okay, guys, now that... That's why I wish you were there, man. Oh, it would have been a real interesting conversation over there, because then you would have been able to talk about the points that she's making. Maybe you don't agree fully, but you would have been, looking to... You would be closer to her positions. And so then you would have said, like, okay, well, maybe that's a little out there, but this would be a more middle ground. Maybe we would have had a good conversation. But instead, we have a learning opportunity. Don't be like Mel. Caesar said the right just talking or existing is promoting political extremism to these vermin. You got it. You got it. And so there has to be a way. This type of thinking is so low. It's so first order thinking. If you are going to tell me that you can't beat that in the marketplace of ideas, maybe you ain't cut out for this shit. Maybe you need to sit down, close your channel, send all your subscribers to me. I'll fucking handle it. If you can't beat this, you might be stupid. Because I could definitely, as we are seeing, combat that. The people who have been, kicking this up to say, okay, guys, now that it's too far that I don't like it anymore. The other point that I made when I was saying that, if you were going to say that was wrong before, but it's okay now, then you're not sticking to principles. And so how do I know that what you actually believe is what you said before or what you're saying now? And then you literally said I get more excited the more they burn down Teslas. What are we talking about? That is violence. And even though that you don't like the feelings of my words, that's not violence. Exactly. Just forgive us. We are sorry, but forgive us, you bigots. Exactly. I mean, give that a dilly-dilly. If you don't have the rhetorical skills to articulate how this is a stupid thing to think and say, then just sit down, because I can. And even though that you don't like the feelings of my words, that's not violence. Words have meanings.
Yeah, that's not what I said. I said,
okay,
that is what you said.
So hold on really quickly. We're going to get to Tyler has something to say. He's been waiting patiently, and then we're going to get to Cassell.
All right, so going off of what Mel's thesis is here, It's okay to commit political violence against people if you see their group or this person as creating more extremists. So what we went through with the Mother Jones data with every mass shooting and the increase in violence from
You didn't go over shit.
All right, 99 cents, guys. 99 cents
Hold
was
on.
a filter.
The increase in violence from trans people to society. We see 4 mass shootings now, and we also see on top of that different instances of prison where they put trans women into women's prisons, and there's epidemics of sexual assault rising through the ranks. So if all these things happen, if we see increases in violence, could you not say with your exact theory that anyone that pushes gender theory and doesn't try to find a way to actually cure gender dysphoria and not embrace it is actually pushing violence, and it's okay to go assassinate people that push gender theory?
So Jake, since this
Yep, by the same logic, when you're talking about gender theory and radicalizing people to mutilate children, how come I can't go out? Don't want to, but how come I can't go out according to your logic and your morality and kill those people? Oh, because you don't have any principles. You just have positions.
To go assassinate people that push gender theory?
So Jake, since this is all of you going around talking at me, but not
Answering the question once again, I'm going to call it every talking at you, aka asking you a question and hoping that you will answer it.
just let Castle go, because I still don't know what his fucking name is. And then we can.
Okay,
Guys, what are we doing? Nobody has 99 fucking cents. Come on,
Robert.
that's why I put it in the pick.
go ahead, Robert. You're up.
It's just Castle, guys, please.
There's also a Jason Castle and a John Castle, so it's very
not his
confusing.
fault. He can't read good.
Matt Castle's in the NFL. or what?
Yeah, Matt Castle. Wait, can we call you Matt Castle? We can do that.
Yeah, that's my cousin actually. So yeah.
Oh, right on. Well, he was a shitty quarterback. Go ahead.
Yeah, he
I'm
was
kidding.
actually asked. So I guess from my view is that we talked about Charlie Kirk's noble or trying to change the country and have that conversation by nobly pursuing the debate way of going about things, which I don't think it's bad. I agree with Mel that I think he was one-sided and did get people on the left jacked up for
too much
for a reason and on purpose mostly. But again, irrelevant to why he should be attacked in any way. But I think that goes back to my point where it's like, we have a ton of people in this space going out and looking for these types of debates publicly, which is fine, but it's not doing anything to heal us. Obviously,
and why are you here?
A lot of these people are either associated with the right or left, and I don't think a lot of them really care if we come together. They just want to be right. And when they have these debates, it's about them being right. It's really not much more than that, really about healing the country. So when you want to talk about like the left toning down, I don't really think that matters. If the left toned it down in whatever way you think that's possible, is the right really going to let up? No.
Maybe. Is it worth a try or not even? Maybe the right will calm down if we stop being insane, but probably not. So let's not even try.
Stupid.
Because I don't think that would be advantageous to the right either. So I think both sides are really going to keep going at it in the future, because I haven't seen any evidence of why they wouldn't. Right now, the right is doing all that they can in government to get what they want, and it's working. They have all 3 branches of government. So if the left were in power, why wouldn't they just emulate that on their side, or I guess our side too? And another thing is, when we talk about the left, and which really annoys me, is that, like Tyler mentions, like, oh, it's a really small portion of people on Twitter on the right who may have celebrated George Floyd, but in reality, it's also the same on the left too. And a lot of times, like I consider myself like a liberal. There's nobody in Congress who's a Democrat, at least from what I understand, that's like, hey, you should burn a Tesla. Like, nobody is saying that. And a lot of people who vote for them aren't saying that. A lot of people who are saying these things are a very small community on the left. And it pisses me off, because that's who everybody nationally associates with the left. And they become such a bad brand because they can't separate themselves from a small part of the party the way that Republicans have. So I think it's something that Democrats have to worry about, but it's also annoying to be associated with such a small group of people who really don't have a ton of power. And really can't, persuade electoral outcomes either. But they have such a larger voice, it seems, on a national level because of how the right has done a good job of making that seem to be the case.
Is this for me? Am I the terrorist? I'm holding you hostage. Works, right? I mean, the grift's got a grift. Thank you so very, very much. Is he gonna take it? Oh, I told you he's not feeling good. All right, we're gonna leave that right there. If you want it, yeah, you can eat it. Yeah. All right. I told you he wasn't feeling well. Hey, Sea Striker as well. Thank you guys so very, very much. Keeping up the grift. I very, very much appreciate it. I'm gonna break that one in half for him. Yeah, you feeling better? You feeling better? All right. You guys did it. You guys made him feel better. Thank you so very, very much. And of course, we got Behave in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Said the right is my refuge from weird leftists, crazy perverts. Do you fuck plushies? Weird. Hopefully, you leave the animals alone. Yeah. Hopefully. And Behave said Team Morty. Thank you so very, very much, guys. Very much appreciated. And of course, that adds to the Swoggle. That's 3 out of 15 and 4, 6, 8 out of 50. Let's get Morty peanut butter. Well, oh, sorry. He's not feeling well. It's not a peanut butter night, but let's get me swole. Thank you so much, guys.
How the right has done a good job of making that seem to be the case. But anyway, those are just my thoughts.
Okay, fair enough on that. Tyler, anybody else need have something to say before I?
Real quick, guys. You never have to end what you're saying with "Those are my thoughts," unless you're specifically not talking about your thoughts. In which case, you should say, "I'm just being devil's advocate," or it's implied that they're your thoughts.
Enough on that.
For Castle, so let Mel go and respond to him, and then I'll jump in after.
Okay, go ahead, Mel.
Yeah, so the left, when you say the left won't turn the temperature down, I was going to point to when we used to do that, and then we learned the hard way that even when we do, you still turn the temperature up.
Shout out again to the donations. Thank you so much, guys.
So you're going to have to reconcile that on your own part. When I say America became less polarized the day that C. Kirk happened, it also became less fascist. And I think that being anti-fascist
Here we
is
go.
a good thing. You don't even have to be a leftist to be anti-fascist, actually. It's pretty crazy. So a lot of this depends on where you draw the lines and what side you're on. Of course, you're going to see when you're a fascist, the anti-fascist is terrorist. I never, by the way, Indian Jesus.
Wait, I was reading the chat. What is it?
Of course, you're going to see when you're a fascist, the anti-fascist is terrorist. I never, by the way, Indian Jesus, I never said that words are violence. You keep putting that in my mouth because you're a dishonest piece of shit.
I never once said that.
Yes, you did. You said words are not violence as part of your response to me. We can go.
That's a different thing than saying you said words are violence. I am simply making the statement that words are not, in fact, violence. That does not implicate you in any way at all.
Back in the VOD if you'd like.
Right.
Maybe
but
you should
brought up his Trantifa. Oh my God, Dilly, do that. Oh my goodness. Savagery.
As part of your response to me, we can go back in the VOD if you'd like.
Right.
Maybe
you should brought up his rhetoric being violence.
Maybe you
what's the no word?
Shouldn't just spout verbal diarrhea.
You said he was radicalizing people, correct?
Maybe you shouldn't just
said he was radicalizing. Apparently, Jimmy Kimmel being put back was due to terroristic threats. So we negotiate with terrorists now, as long as they're on the left. We saw the video of the bullet holes in the ABC affiliate thing, which is stupid because it's not like they have any control over it. But I never think to the left for intelligence. But the insanity. That's so crazy. Oh, well, they were going to gun us down, so we're going to do what they say.
What?
Good plan. Let's see how that works out. Dylan said, this is why I try to screen record or use the VOD of the stream. I don't know what you mean. Sorry. You got this, girl. You got this.
Shouldn't just spout verbal diarrhea.
You said he was radicalizing people, correct?
Maybe you shouldn't just
spout. He was radicalizing people, correct?
Maybe you shouldn't just spout. Stop trying to control the conversation, you coward.
You stated that he was radicalized. Stop trying to control the conversation, coward.
What?
Stop trying to control the conversation, you coward.
You stated that he was radicalized.
Not do that. That is Mel does believe that Charlie Kirk was radicalizing.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Excuse me. Are you
fine.
helping him? Are you helping him to transfer my point right now?
Yeah, because you won't fucking answer the very clear question that you already answered. Again, I failed to establish that I am leading up to a point, but I am asking you basic questions based on what you've already said.
No, I'm gonna.
That words.
Do you understand?
Mel,
What host bias is, Jake?
Mel, really quickly, really.
Not okay. How does that stuff work? Like, I get if you have a picture, but like when it moves, is that like a whole deal, or is that like something you could just like download from whatever? Disney can have them back. They can either please the crazies or please the people that can actually give them money. Well said, sir. Well said.
Do you understand what host bias is, Jake?
Mel, really quickly, really.
Not okay.
Okay, really quick. Hold on. Let me take the control of the thing because everybody's talking. You guys are talking over each other, okay?
And I'm just asking you a question. Do you understand what host bias is?
I have no idea what that is. Okay, I already answered your question. So really quickly. Yes, that is Mel's position that Charlie Kirk is radicalizing individuals. Mel, go ahead and finish your thought.
So, if you're not going to be able to actually say anything and then own up to it, maybe you shouldn't spew the verbal diarrhea you're clearly spewing. Average debate enjoyer.
Oh wait, sorry. Guys, I so deeply apologize. For missing that projection. Spewing diarrhea. That's you. We got CT 223. Welcome to the party. Just pulled into a parking lot. I'm staring at an American flag at half mast because of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. But we are the radicals. Now you're getting it, CT. Welcome. So software that uses this automatically, but you can manually create the field. Yeah, that sounds gay. Thank you for the information, though. Sea Striker said they threw their lot in as soon as that idiot Bob Iger took over and made Disney the mess it is due to delusions of running for president. Is that I don't really look into stuff that deep. But that's a real thing. He was trying to be the president. Oh, honey, no. Well, that wouldn't work. He looks like he has no bottoms on. I'm either I got both hands full. Ain't nothing y'all need to see. And I got the mouse in this hand. So anytime you see something move with this hand's not there, it's because I'm on the mouse. I promise.
Well, diarrhea you're clearly spewing. Average debate enjoyer, you keep referencing the Mother Jones thing.
Oh, I did call the projection there.
Spewing. Average debate enjoyer, you keep referencing the Mother Jones thing. I actually haven't seen a Mother Jones article that agrees.
Oh, muted.
And you haven't posted shit in the side or gone through shit. So until you do that,
you haven't done exactly what I want you to do. Therefore. Guamtech said Mel really does just come off as constantly afraid and aggressive and just unwilling to concede to the idea that they could even be wrong on the smallest of issues. It's honestly just sad at this point. But notice how we are only a quarter of the way through this conversation. We are only a quarter of the way through this conversation because there is a lot to learn. It's not all fun, but there's a lot to learn.
Until you post something on screen, I have posted many links for you to respond to because I am not a coward. I can actually back up what I say.
Are you calling? Where's the? Dylan just said it. Where? Yeah.
I posted my citation.
Why are we calling each other names? Did I call you any names?
Provided to you guys. Jake has it. Castle has it. IndianJesus has it. I just don't have you on social media or anything, so I can't.
So the link, the side chat's at the side. We can post a link
so
whenever you like.
Everyone else has it, and so I mean, if you and I never referenced Mother Jones' article. I referenced their database, which I did a breakdown on as well. So
okay, well the PBS database disagrees with you.
Okay.
Wow, PBS.
I only found.
We miss. Wait, Nick, are you being blocked in general or just this one chat? So I think YouTube is blocking me because I said I think if any law enforcement officer gets a mugshot for any reason, they should be fired. I mean, they broke the law. How can they be trusted with enforcing the laws after they do that? Fair enough. I mean, I could definitely dig into the ins and outs, but once you get that power, you better handle it responsibly. Okay, I see you here. Okay, I just want to make sure you weren't like blocked. You know YouTube and their censorship.
Okay,
Go back.
as well. So
Okay, well, the PBS database disagrees with you.
okay,
Wow, PBS.
I only found 2 databases
Yeah.
that were all the mass shootings,
Almost,
170 to 190, and
Okay, well, that last link I posted is a database.
it's almost
It's-
like the numbers are skewed for a political purpose because people are getting different responses. So this move of bringing Jimmy Kimmel back is his attempt to be what is the word for the misguidedness of an entire group of people? That's this. And he said this Muppet hijacked the entire panel, but unfortunately, it's typical of any leftist debate I have seen. And that is why we need to understand how they operate, how they talk, how they do this, so that whether it's you or the people that you watch and support, when we get into these situations, we know what to do, and we don't get pummeled by the ability, the debate tactics, the throwing of random numbers out, all of that shit. You that can't be seen as a win. Somehow this debater, somehow this is a better debate than the Jeffree Star versus Amazing Lucas debate on Piers Morgan. That's because it's got me in it. Good for a political purpose because people are getting different responses.
The sociological analysis of country hate music. No, just take your time with it, buddy, because like White Supremacy and Hate Crimes by Becker, right? Like you can see which ones are going to give you data sets.
Okay. I can promise you that Mel did not take any advice you gave seriously.
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think we can go through all of the data, etc., on this type of stuff. But what we can do is kind of visualize.
I'm actually confident. My opponent's only performatively confident.
Then why won't you answer any fucking questions?
Okay, fair enough, Mel. But yeah, I don't think we can.
It's like, yeah, okay, whatever you say.
Kind of go through all of the data sets and see, because I would say, like, when it comes to, for example, categorizing BLM, I do believe that I believe it's the FBI statistics or one of those that they categorize political violence. They actually don't categorize BLM as a political event or political violence in general, right? So I think
on right-wing violence, this isn't a database of mass shootings.
Right, but I said to you, there's clearly things in here like White Supremacy and Hate Crimes by Becker, because I can actually say the names of the people who wrote the things that I said the thing. Because again, I'm just slightly better at this. Not great. But
okay,
better.
Mel.
Database, you're just making shit up and not addressing any of my. Like I have 4 arguments unaddressed. You're getting.
BLM was not left-wing violence. Explanation, please.
Cooked right now. Everyone's laughing.
All right.
I actually love getting cooked. Love getting cooked because, you know, here's another link.
Cope harder. Oh my god. Do I have a soundbite for? I thought I had a cope soundbite, but
Stop the cap.
Emotional damage. I actually love getting cooked because,
again, guys, there's not an echo on those sounds, right?
You know, here's another link. You're gonna act like it doesn't do anything. Because again,
I would believe that based on how you're performing here. I would definitely believe. I see what you're doing now. You have some type of masochistic kink.
Yeah, well, and I would believe that you have performative confidence because I posted yet another link. You're going to pretend like,
oh, just another thing that you believe that has no bearing in reality. Add it to the list.
Well, and I would believe that you have performative confidence because I posted yet another link. You're going to pretend like it doesn't say anything because that's the best you can do.
Make your say a thing. Like, just we're here to have a debate. So say the thing. What is the thing?
It's definitely worse on the right.
Okay.
So we're all gonna are we all gonna stop the conversation?
Okay. Can we?
So Jake, I mean, if you want to pull this up,
I can post
yeah, we could do that if you want. Do you want the last one that you sent me? No.
Oh, see the beauty of this. Talking about how being treated like kids and da 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 da. Like this is okay. Thank you. The fact of the matter is that you have to combat that. That's what they're used to. That's what they're expecting, and they will cry if they are not treated with kid gloves. And you just have to push right through it. You can't get into, well, look, I did this because of that, and you did this, and I get into it myself. And you can't do that. You will lose those arguments because they don't fucking make sense. You just stick with what you're doing, stick with your points, drill down on what you have to say. And when they say random shit, just fucking like the Bill Burr, the Bill Burr thing. You know you've won the argument when they start throwing wild shit. Just stay in the pocket, fucking bob and weave the bullshit. You've already won.
Whatever you, yeah, I think the last one, if you don't want to figure out what's in the database,
Well, which one do you want me to pull up?
Shout out to Waco Mind. Welcome to the party. Very good to see ya. Waco Mind's been going a little wild in the comments of the videos I was dropping, but glad to see a variety of opinions.
The last one, if you don't want to figure out what's in the database.
Well, which one do you want me to pull up? That's what I'm
the
saying.
last one's mine.
Okay, we could do that.
I'm looking through the sources. They end in 2008, where my study is currently caught up every mass shooting till 2025. So
ends in 2008.
They wouldn't even include any of the trans mass shooters that happened in the last 6 years. If you stop in 2008,
Stupid.
So,
like I said, silence in the
first
beginning.
of all,
Even
that
though I
doesn't
don't
tell us
know.
about right wing or left wing, because not all trans shooters are left wing.
Aren't they though? Aren't they though?
If they're white, show up to school.
Blair White is not a shooter. You said trans shooters.
the right wing,
You don't know that they're all
shooters.
left wing.
70% of the public does not believe
If
that
all trans people are left wing, then you can't actually say that with any confidence. Because again, you're
Well, are all white supremacists right wing though? Like, let me ask you that.
Yeah.
You know, maybe there's a bunch of left-wing white supremacists, and exactly what we're talking about. All the violence is coming from the left. We talk about the political horseshoe. We talk about the apolitical meme culture. I bet you there's a lot of white supremacists who are very happy with trans ideology and all that stuff.
Yeah. Actually, I can give you an
As long as they're white.
example, Indian. I believe it's Richard Spencer. He's actually very liberal. He voted for Trump the first time around, and then he voted for Biden the second time around. He
It's the punch a Nazi guy.
actually hates Trump now. But yeah, he's an individual that is a liberal, and he's a self-proclaimed white supremacist.
yeah.
So
you're
I
really
mean,
There you go.
and-
So the next, I don't know how long we go for. So at 150, we're at 59:25, and this whole time, all this thing is on the screen until so a straight 10 minutes of just talking about the notion that not all trans people are on the left, according to Mel, but all white supremacists are on the right, according to Mel. Rules for thee, but not for me. And let's play. I'll do this. We'll go with this a little bit there.
Still wants like H1B.
Let's get ahead a little bit, but we're still talking about white supremacy and whether that's right wing or left wing or whatever. I agree. Let's see what else you guys got it. Matthew said, I had a discussion about school shootings with coworkers the other day. Had to open their eyes a little bit, showing how ridiculous those stats are. Yep. And of course, Mel brought that up. He said liberals would punch their own nuts if Trump said punching your nuts is bad. Yep. When is it of the trans conservatives that are doing the shootings, then there seems to be one common thing, whether they are left or right, and it's not the defense they think it is. It's mental illness. Is that where you were going?
Either. So I think they kind of play these games and become
Yeah, let's let Castle talk because he's
can be the same.
isn't what it was. So that classic definition, the left and right, and then the current definition of left and right, we're bouncing in between those to talk past each other.
Yeah, so basically all we missed is that Mel's trying to say all white supremacists are right wing, but not all trans are left wing. And then Tyler brought up the notion of the left not calling out Muslim extremism or violence against women and stuff like that.
Well, I was going to say too. I think that for what's his name? Now I'm forgetting his name. Someone remind me.
The thing that
sorry,
Yeah.
I don't know why I forgot it. But the thing about him is, and I think I get what you're saying, Jake, in that like not everybody can be characterized in these two camps. But to Mel's point, I think Spencer's a little snaky because he's more of what I would consider a populist. I would consider him a Democrat, honestly, because he did. I kind of put him in the same camp as like the Nick Fuentes, right? Like Nick Fuentes, he comes out against Trump a lot now, but I wouldn't say that he's a liberal for it the same way that Richard Spencer says he voted for Biden, but I wouldn't, characterize him as like.
Who still smokes cigarettes, bro? Who you are not the right age. You need to either be over 45 or under 25 because I don't know if you guys knew, but vaping is cringe to the Gen Alphas, so they started bringing up cigarettes again. But get some Zins or get a vape, bro. Come on.
A liberal either. So I think they kind of play these games and become a little snaky in that way. And I would put both of them as more populist. Like, I don't think Richard Spencer still wants like H-1B visas coming into the U.S. and is like really big on maintaining a white ethno state still, even if he claims like he's pro-abortion. So I think he's just a little bit snaky. But again, it's kind of beside your point, because I'm sure you could find a leftist white supremacist out there somewhere.
You're on the cusp. I wouldn't give you shit, but like you're a little young to be smoking cigarettes.
I don't know him. I've never met him, but I am sure there's one person out there who will ruin it for us. But yeah, I think Spencer is kind of like
Mel. Oh yeah, what were we talking about?
I can see your point. I can see your point. I can see your point of how like you wouldn't trust an individual, etc. There, but
so bad for him. Like Tyler brought Castle in, and he had no idea what was going on because of course somebody dropped out last minute. On the left being a little bitch. So we had to find somebody last minute, and Castle is on the left, but he's not like extreme like that. I would say he's probably a lot closer to Box than Melanie. And oh man, he was just tied to this fucking anchor. Luckily, she leaves before a while before he does. Well, there you go. You're old enough. But good job.
At the end of the day, look, I'm just saying from what his voting is and what I've seen him on interviews lately, especially he got a lot of traction. That's what I saw there. Okay. And
there's not.
That's all I'm saying here. But my point is that I'm giving an example of somebody that backs up that point. Right. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, going back to it, as far as like the trans shooters, etc. Right. I would say, is there a trans shooter as of recently that was on the right? You know, like I get it. Not all of them are left, but I think the vast majority of the trans shooters, especially lately, I think there's been like 10 that I can name, were all on the left.
Yeah, I
you know, with their ideology. So
on the right, based on what has come out. For me, and this is just how I feel, regardless of if they are on the left, like I think a lot of these folks have like mental issues. And so I think the big piece of a lot of shootings these days, and even the Kirk shooter himself, who wasn't trans, but I think people said he had like a trans relationship or something like that. But a lot of this really comes down to mental health and mental issues. But these folks, and I'm not saying if you're trans, you have a mental issue, but if you're shooting somebody,
I am
for political reasons, I think you do. And so I think that's where it comes down for me. I really don't want to like demonize the whole community. Like I wouldn't want to demonize the right or left. But I think that for me, it's like, oh, this is a trans shooter right, or it's a trans shooter left. It's like, okay, it's kind of irrelevant. A person dead now.
And then this person here is giving a specific example because again, we spent that much time talking about whether you could be white supremacist and on the left, and then we get an example of somebody who is white supremacist on the left.
So we should try to like see what we can do to fix this instead of creating more of this, you know?
Well, that's what I was saying. Then you're like, oh, nobody's going to do that. I'm like, okay,
well, nobody has been.
Did I not say that? Did I not say that? And they're like, oh, well, that's not going to happen. All right, well, then what the fuck are we here for? People
yeah, but I agree they should, but I'm trying to say, I'm not saying no, we shouldn't, but I'm saying the way we get there, I think, is where we may differ. And I think the way we get there starts at the top.
That's kind of
Oh, so when you say the way we get there of us turning down the temperature is your president has to turn that temperature because it comes from the top. I'm trying.
We may differ, and I think the way we get there starts at the top.
That's kind of. I just wanted to respond to that because that's the point he made a while ago. I've been sitting on an answer for.
Who?
Cass.
Sorry if I missed it.
No, you made that same point like a half an hour ago. I've been waiting to get back to you.
I've had this for so long, and I lost it for a while, and the zipper doesn't work, but it's so comfy. It's got like a, well, you probably saw it before. Like the hood has got like these little like collars. So, you know, you pop the collar. I don't know. It just feels nice, but that zipper.
No, you made that same point like a half an hour ago. I've been waiting to get back to it. So before we jog off in a different direction, let me get these notes out of here. So what you're saying, what you mean by fix it is like Charlie Kirk wasn't doing anything that should be fixed. He was out debating people on politics. He's never done anything violent. He's never incited any violence against anybody. You can say in some abstract way that he could be blamed for some crazy person doing something, but if you want to go that route, every single politician can be blamed for that. The fucking Kamala Harris called Trump a fascist. Any violence against a right winger
I'm not saying I didn't blame
that would be
Kirk,
stochastic terrorism. I'm just saying that, like, how would we fix this if what we saw was an escalation into an assassination of somebody that clearly did absolutely nothing wrong?
Yeah, I mean, a very clear question that, like, okay, if you're saying the answer is do this, and then somebody was doing this, and then they got shot in the fucking neck, then clearly that's not the answer.
So
No,
Charlie Kirk,
saying
Kirk did
no,
incite
hold on,
violence.
Mel. Let me.
No, he didn't.
He's never been charged with that.
Hold on, go ahead,
I'm
Castle.
not saying that Kirk.
Yeah, they'll go, oh, Trump is a felon because the court said so. But when Charlie Kirk has no even arrest, well, he's still violent. Rules for thee, but not for me. No principles, just position.
Hold on,
Mel.
Mel.
He calls it.
Go ahead, Castle. I'm sorry.
Yeah, all good. What I was saying is that Trump is the person, and you mentioned politicians. Sure, you can blame people on the left and right. Trump's made statements about Democrats being fascist too, but I'm saying why? Why is he doing that? If you want to blame Jasmine Crockett or whatever, MTG, Ilhan Omar, Lauren Boebert, these are instigators. And at the end of the day, Trump shouldn't be trying to emulate that himself either. I think the president of the United States should be the one trying to get both sides to stop, because both sides in Congress are definitely doing this. So if he's not willing to do that, we have a huge issue. It's a huge problem.
Huge.
Can I jump in and give you the perspective that what most of the people on the right or supporting Trump or whatever, what they heard from what you just said? So tell me if I'm wrong here, because I feel like I feel like a lot of us have very similar perspectives, even though if we have big disagreements on certain things, namely religion and some of those politics, but in general, I feel like I am comfortable speaking for the lot of you here. So based on what he just said, we'll give him, we'll back it up a little bit and give the end. But he's basically saying that, yes, I agree with you, Lutch, that the left needs to take the mea culpa so that we can all bring the temperature down. But that starts at the top. And it just so happens that Trump's at the top. Can I jump in and give you the perspective that what most of the people on the right or supporting Trump or whatever, what they heard from what you just said is that the vigor with which Trump has brought to the political landscape to attack the establishment, the woke left, whatever you want to say, is do not hit the poll until you hear the point I'm making. Is a bad thing. And just not Trump has brought to the political landscape to attack, the establishment, the woke left, whatever you want to say, is a bad thing. And that's just not what a lot of people think. Now, we can get into the different levels of, this specific quote or that specific quote, but the general strength that Trump is bringing to the landscape is exactly why we voted for him. And so you could say
but I disagree, because a lot of people, what they say,
you disagree with why I voted for who I voted for. So again, maybe he was saying he disagrees that what I'm saying is representative. But what I think, now you can hit the poll. What I think he was saying, what he's saying is, if you are eventually or ultimately, it comes down to Trump. It's Trump, 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 Trump. That's what I heard. Did you hear that, or did you hear something different? I'll play it again. Not what a lot of people think. Now, we can get into the different levels of, this specific quote or that specific quote, but the general strength that Trump is bringing to the landscape is exactly why we voted for him. And so you could say
I disagree, because a lot of people, what they say,
you disagree with why I voted for who I voted for?
No, I'm talking about your party who voted for Trump. A majority of people, when you ask them what you least like about Trump, they're like, I don't like the tweeting. I don't like his social media. They like his policies, but they don't like the rhetoric. And I think that's what I'm getting at. They don't like what.
So when I say the strength that he brings to Castle, that means his tweets. That's not what I meant.
He's saying, maybe that's why you voted for him, but I still think a majority of Republicans think that's the worst part about him.
So, okay, I misunderstood. I agree with you that, he could definitely run his mouth and whatever. I do like the fact that he uses that that's not really relevant. But so, yeah, okay, I can agree. As we are coming up on the 2.5 hour mark. If you would like to keep the party raging, you know how to do it.
You like it though.
I do like the cultural
But it's
effect that
bad.
sometimes it has.
Like I'll admit, I'll admit I like his tweets,
do
especially
think-
back in the day. But go ahead, Indy.
Yeah, I do think there are times when he has said bombastic things that were needed to be said. Now, again, if we want to get into each individual quote, there's some that I do like, there's some that I don't like, and especially lately, I'm not really on board. But Epstein, Iran. But the point is, you're trying to say, oh, Donald Trump is doing this, and that should not be the case. But that's just the basic, fundamental political disagreement that we have between left and right. Yeah, they're saying, oh, look what Trump does. That's bad. And we're like, we can see what Trump's doing, and we disagree. I don't think that it is bad. You're like, no, but you just don't see how it's bad. No. I get what you're saying. I just disagree with it. And they can't fathom. Exactly as the fucking person from Twitter was here. If you weren't so steep in your biases, you would see the world exactly the same way as I do. Maybe. But likely, because I'm a different person with different life experiences, different wants, different desires, and different experiences, did I say that already? You know what I mean? Then I probably have my own opinions based on my own opinions. Sick, fundamental political disagreement that we have between left and right.
Wait, so your argument is that he should be saying bombastic, terrible things because it's his? I mean,
No.
it's his right. He can definitely say it, but I don't think it's good. Okay,
No.
wait, what's okay?
So I'm saying, so notice how, if that was Melanie, and I was saying, so you're saying this, stop putting words in my mouth. No, see, it was a question. So I can answer that question with, no, that's not what I meant. Let me clarify.
It's his right. He can definitely say it, but I don't think it's good. Okay, wait, what's okay?
So I'm saying the way that, I'm specifically talking about what you said before I started. I'm saying the way that people hear that, oh, Trump has brought this this to politics. I know I'm not quoting you specifically, so sorry, but
Paraphrasing.
yeah, but and that's a bad thing. But you need to get into the specific quotes before people are like, yeah, I wish you wouldn't have said that. But in general, the notion of he's finally pushing back against the people who are calling us fascists and Nazis and second class citizens and all that. We want to react to that, and fine, you can say that's a bad thing, but that is a very reasonable and widely held position.
And by the way, Castle, just to give you some kind of insight with you, Castle, back in like 2016, 2017, when I first, started, supporting Trump and I was wearing the hat.
I want to skip forward a little bit because I don't know how much of this we're actually going to get to cover, but I think this part is important. Let's see what we got right here. All right. Was I talking? Okay. All right. Let's see what this is, because I want to address that video that we covered before we go. And then, like I said, I don't know. Maybe should I save it? Should I save this for save part 2 for Wednesday, or should we just do that as like a low key thing with just us tomorrow? I don't know. Help me decide.
Oh, in your own opinion, Charlie Kirk was pushing mainstream views, and he was quoting the New York Times, and that was lying. Everything you said was dishonest. You haven't made a good point tonight, and I feel bad that I brought Castle into this. He actually wanted to debate this giant document that I put a lot of time into, and all you're doing is making things up and lying. You've lied multiple times.
Are you going to land the plane soon, buddy?
Enjoy that massive L you're getting fucking handed right now.
Okay.
At least I can land my plane.
All right. So really quick, $2.
Is that a dick joke?
Super chat. No, I'll give you the plane right now. Really quick, $2 super chat comes on. Of course, Indian Jesus side. Mel doesn't want a taste of their own medicine. Go ahead, Mel, and respond to actually. I'm sorry. Another $2. I'm sorry, man. Another $2. Jake is so basic. Thank you so much, Adam, for that. Really appreciate that as well.
You guys made me look awesome.
Well, that's on the Indian Jesus side. Go ahead, Mel.
Damn, I took a bite of a lollipop. It doesn't matter that there's trans shooters, because there's equally more cis white shooters, and particularly.
It doesn't matter that there's trans shooters, because there's equally more cis white shooters. So it just doesn't matter.
Particularly, the more cis white you get, there's a point to it being more right wing. You know why? Because white cis het privilege exists. Thank you for playing.
Cis is not a word. Thank you for playing.
More right wing. You know why? Because white cis het privilege exists. Thank you for playing.
Sis is not a word. You made that shit up.
I'm wondering, was that to me because it didn't address the massive amount of dunks I just did on you?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Wasn't the
most of them
question
didn't address anything
wasn't
I
the
said.
question about you calling Tyler a liar, and then he was not a
Most of them
liar,
didn't
and then
address
you
anything I
just
said.
didn't
You just
answer
got
children, arrested development, what's the word? Perpetual childhood. Perpetual childhood.
Dad?
I didn't address the point like you've
Stop
been
talking.
doing this entire time. Are you talking?
Are you just like a feckless yes man or something? Like, holy shit.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess so. You
You just
figured me
met,
out.
but I think it's true love.
So,
I posed something.
hi, I'm still responding to him.
Sorry.
So you,
Okay, we'll get to you, Castle, after that. Mel, go ahead.
Please, guys. Well, we understand what we're talking about with the debate tactics. And, sometimes you need to use debate tactics against people who are using debate tactics because they're not having a good faith conversation. But don't model yourself after Mel. Like, yikes.
still responding to him.
Hi.
Okay, we'll get to you, Castle, after that. Mel, go ahead.
You just got mad that it was posted by the New York Times and everything else was just a bunch of misframings of my argument.
Remember what
Okay.
we say about people who assign motives to things that they don't understand. You guys know what that means. I forget exactly where it was from, but we were covering a show and they were talking about wokeness on the left or the right. And a big key to wokeness is assigning motive to people who say things that you don't understand. He's saying that because you're not a fucking mind reader. You are poisoning the well. Remember what we say about people who assign motives to things that they don't understand.
All right, there you go. Castle, you got the floor here. You wanted something to say.
Yeah, just to kind of point this into a different direction, maybe a little. It's like,
all right, who have you debated? I would love to cover some of your debates. Who have you debated? Okay, who's everyone? I don't know who everyone is. What should I search? Waco Mine versus what? Yeah. It's almost like you're talking shit.
yeah, just to
As if I'm not clearly the best person on this planet. Come on now.
point this into a different direction, maybe a little. It's like, let's say all political violence was on the left, right? And it exploded under the past 8 years, 10 years, whatever it may be. I still don't think that means anything. I mean, you could say that, okay, well, the left has a problem with violence, but it's getting worse. And that's kind of my point, is like, even if it's all right, all left, it's getting worse.
Waco Mind debate. We got modern day debate. We got thinkers debate. We got a live debate on Abba and Preach. We might have to check that out in the after party. We've got me in a debate with Andrew Wilson. Team Skept. Oh, no, modern day debate. Vosh, modern day debate. Vosh. Debate us online. 1,000 subscribers. Is that you? He hung up. Oh, no, it's Vosh. Debate recordings. Is that you? And that's the end of it. And yes, that is me. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Oh, but what about your narcissism? I'm just trying to back up what you're saying. You're saying I look weak. So I just want to have a framing so that I can understand what would be not weak. So I want to look at what you debated, but you haven't debated shit. Well, let's get on with it. Just like Mel, you and the tranny furry are exactly the same right now. How does that feel? This is why we need to be deliberate about our words.
Getting worse. And that's kind of my point, is like, even if it's all right, all left, it's getting worse. And you can kind of see it in the graphs. And I'm not sure if Tyler has this data on his end or not, but
honey, you think me trying to look up what you've done because you said I was weak, and then you said we've debated everyone, and then immediately the same minute, 10:24 and 10:24, I didn't dredge. I don't know where to find a furry, but where did you debate anybody that makes you look not weak because they're so strong? This is what I want you guys to understand, that like, I get it. This is not anything that impressive. I mean, I did a damn good job, but this is nothing. Who is we? Tell me where to find it. I'm giving you the entire platform. The entire platform. Nope. So again, just tell me what to search, and we will look at a better debate, according to you. Oh, okay. Got it.
You've seen in the past 10 years.
Oh, yeah, but I wanted to make a point about that. Like, yeah, obviously, this isn't the greatest thing in the world, but we got to do shit. You could sit around and comment long paragraphs about how everybody is worse than you. You can sit in the chat and say how you're this much better and that much better than everybody else. But some of us are actually out here fucking doing shit. So if you're not doing shit, then either do shit or support the people who you like and shut the fuck up about the people that you don't. If you do, then show me so I can be like, wow, Waco Mind is great. I want to watch more of this content so I can be a better debater. But I have a feeling if that content existed, it would have already been in the chat.
Years, both the left and the right, whether you want to argue at how they gather the statistics or not, it's increasing on both sides. So even if it was all just left-wing violence, my point is that it's not coming from nowhere. And I think that's the problem is like, okay, you can blame Biden. It happened under Biden too, but it's been getting worse since Trump was elected. And that's where I want to kind of see is like, well, what happens if it's just all left-wing violence from out here too? It's coming from something. And I think that we have to address that.
It is coming from something. What might that something be, Castle?
So if Charlie Kirk thinks that watching public executions is an initiation for children, does that mean his
Find that
children
clip.
are
Find
does
that
that mean
clip. Immediately. What did I say? Find that clip. Immediately. Immediately, because I knew for sure that's not what Charlie was saying. I'd never seen this clip. I'd never heard this quote before. But immediately.
And I think that we have to address that.
So if Charlie Kirk thinks that watching public executions is an initiation for children, does that mean his
Find that
children
clip.
are
Didn't even need to finish the sentence before I knew that you were bullshit. Find
Does
that
that mean
clip, because I'm
does that mean-
1000% sure you're taking that. I'm asking you to help me because you said I look weak. I would like to look stronger, so I would like to look at better debates that you have done. But they don't exist. Out of
does
context.
that mean his children are initiated now?
Find the clip.
Yeah,
I guarantee you were taking that out of context.
Yeah, I remember seeing the
I
full
had to
context
guess.
of that.
If I
It
had to
matters
guess,
to have
if I had to
journalistic
guess based
integrity,
on
like, I will say I do appreciate you actually watching this.
Yeah, we can watch it
real quick, turn to public execute that.
through it together here.
And
So,
actually,
yeah.
before we start, real quick,
Yeah.
real quick, if it is the case that Charlie is saying, yeah, we should be taking children to public executions because that would be based. If that's the totality of the message, then I will, just like I'm asking from the other side, mea culpa, I was wrong, you were right, Charlie said a bad thing, so on and so forth. But stand on business. Don't say shit that you're not willing to stand on. And when you say shit, stand on it. Gonzaga said, speak from a place of what you do, not what you would just prefer. Yep. But I don't believe that that is the case.
There you go. All right, we can do this.
Is this Jack? The last time that
Why are you assuming? You look at a stronger debate. Stronger debating someone was not an easy target. The trans furry homo crowd is obviously an easy target. I had no idea who was showed up. Jake said, "Do you want to be part of a panel?" So, if the weakness is me agreeing to a panel, not knowing what the fuck it was, then I'm gonna say you're wrong. And yet again, I will ask, where is the strength from your debates? You are talking shit.
Stop the cap.
in Belarus, they used capital execution here was in 2019, and it was by firearm.
Yeah, that's how you should. By the way, this is my other problem with death penalty. It takes too long, too many appeals. It should be public. It should be quick. It should be televised.
Well, this can't be right, can it? The last execution.
So you are MAGA then, because you're talking shit. It's about the transgender property. You're saying that you are MAGA. Just tell me. Just tell me what to search. You can prove me wrong. You can make me look even stupider and weaker. Just tell me what to search. Can we pause right there real quick?
Yeah.
So the point of what he has said. So I'm going to back that up.
This is my
Belarus, They used capital execution
Yeah,
here
that's
was
you.
in 2019,
You are the bullshit at this very moment.
and it was by firearm.
Yeah, that's how you should. By the way, this is my other problem with death penalty. It takes too long, too many
Too
appeals.
expensive.
It should be public. It should be quick. It should be televised.
Well, this can't be right, can it? The last execution. In
So can we
France
pause
was
right there real quick?
guillotined in
So the point of what he is saying there is that the being on death row forever and all these appeals is not good. If it is such the case, shut the fuck up. If it is such the case, if it is such the case that somebody is
Mel, let him finish.
that it should be.
Times, and you let him.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead. I know what my ideas are, so you can just ramble on your bullshit.
Indian Jesus is about to poison the well.
Go ahead.
Indian Jesus is about to poison the well here, showing that his claims that he wanted the full context were
Projection! By saying what you are saying, that is what is called poisoning the well. You know not what I am about to say, and yet you are assigning motive to why I'm going to say what I'm about to say. How do you know that I'm not going to say, oh shit, I was wrong. That really sounds bad. Well, you're totally right. You don't fucking know. You are afraid. All this posturing about, I'm confident. You know who doesn't say shit like, I'm confident? People who are confident. Go ahead.
Indian Jesus is about to poison the well here, showing that his claims that he wanted the full context were totally facetious.
Well, hold on, Mel, because he didn't say anything about kids yet. We're not even done. We're not even done with the full context. Okay, Indian Jesus is just talking about the at least the label here.
Context.
Just okay. Well, we're gonna go through it. Hold on. Just shut up and let us just fucking wait, dude.
You're saying being inconsistent.
Mel.
I'm going to practice that. Facetious.
Okay, go ahead, Jesus. Go ahead and finish your thought here, and we can move on.
The bottom line was exactly my prediction, that he was saying that this should be something that is an extreme thing in society, not that it just goes willy-nilly. That was what I thought that he was going to say, and so far, we are going to continue. That seems like what he's saying.
Okay, there you go.
1977.
100% true. They used the guillotine.
Until 77?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
There's videotape of it.
Honestly, that's like what we should be doing. And I agree. It should be public
And
should be public
televised.
square.
By the way, you could sell. You could fund
Force
the
kids
government
to watch it.
You could have like brought to you by Coca-Cola.
Okay, so that's the host that said force kids to watch it, and then he laughed. So just for clarification, maybe Charlie Kirk later says, no, I agree with you. We should force kids to watch it. So it looks like he made a joke there. All right, so we'll move on.
And no, I'm not kidding. By the way, I would totally do this to see some pedo get their head chopped off. Convicted by a jury.
By the way,
peers.
that's going to get
No, I'm talking about a real thing. I'm not talking
all
about
executions in Belarus are by firearm. That's
No,
not choice right there.
Andrew's saying don't make kids watch it, and I think no, the absolute
I think at a certain
opposite.
age,
At
it's an
16,
initiation.
16, you can drive.
Hold on,
There it is. At a certain age, it's an initiation, like I said.
Like in Indiana, there was this guy that went in and
Yeah,
killed
that means
a
not
pregnant woman.
children.
Yeah, but that wasn't Charlie.
Hey, shout out to Guam, Texas. They're turning into a fox hunt. You goddamn right. You take it. I'm feeling okay. Yeah, he took it. Oh, my good boy. Oh, my good boy. Thank you so very, very much. Everybody better like that super chat because we are past the 2.5 hour mark. So the party now does rage on. Thank you so very, very much, sir.
Yeah,
like I said.
Like in Indiana, there was this guy that went in and
Yeah,
killed
that means
a pregnant
not
woman.
children.
Yeah, but that wasn't Charlie. Charlie didn't say it. It was the co-host.
Just said it.
No,
Go back. He just said it.
Yeah,
It
he
was-
did say at a certain age, but the implication of that is, well, not children. People
Not
who
children.
are old enough to at a certain age, when you're old enough to understand what's going on.
Yeah, so again, the co-host said we should watch. He said, yeah, at a certain age, and then he continued.
Are you guys ready for the worst semantic obfuscation that may have ever been on this channel? If you don't remember, stop semantic obfuscation is what we need to do. You can get it in a sticker. You can get it in a mug. You can get a notebook. You can even get your very own phone case in this and any other design at TheIndianJesus.com. Get your official merch. Load the fucking page. Get your official merch at TheIndianJesus.com.
Say no children then.
Now what?
Would you just say no children?
No, he said that this
He's
co-host
agreeing
right
with
here,
that.
the bald white guy said
He's agreeing with him.
So you
no, he
agree
said
that
at a
Charlie was
certain
not-
age.
So you agree that Charlie was saying not children, but you're
No.
mad that he didn't specifically state not children.
So
Even
again,
though
you're lying about his take. We should go
I'm
back.
asking you a question. I'm asking you the
Go
question.
back 20 seconds. You can hear him say at a certain age, it is an initiation.
Yes, I was
Did I
the one
just
who said
say-
it. Yeah, I was the one who at a certain age. That specifically means not at any age. That's the purpose of that phrase. agreed with that. And I gave you the explanation that specifically means we don't want young children watching that. That is the explicit purpose.
No, it doesn't.
At a certain age. So what is the purpose of saying at a certain age? What is the context?
If you don't want young people watching it, then you say you don't want young people watching it.
What was the context of at a certain age?
The same sort of thing. Like
3 questions, but I'm gonna hold you to this one. What did he mean by at a certain age?
You know when like NAMBLA
what did he mean by at a certain age?
Yeah, I'm answering you. You know when NAMBLA people say like at a certain age, young boys start becoming attractive, like that.
What?
So not even in the weird fucking example that you're using, they specifically are saying when they get old enough.
Stupid. No, I don't know. Only you follow NAMBLA here.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about there, but
I guess using words is hard for some people.
How did you so what age was he talking about then, Mel? What age? Was
like 5, 6, 7.
Okay, so where did you get that? Where did you get that number?
It could be any number so far.
Okay, any number. So it could be 18. It could be 17. It could be 20.
It could be 0 children. So then you would just say no children should watch it.
Well, they said kids. So
children, and if you decide that 15 is old enough to understand the complexity of what goes on with the death penalty, then that's not a child, or excuse me, that is a child, but that's still old enough. You are
bring them to see it in public.
That by saying old enough that includes children, when it is the explicit opposite.
So we should be like the Nazis and bring them to see it in public. Got it.
What? Okay, I don't know if the Nazis did that.
What's that phrase for how every conversation devolves into Hitler and the Nazis? That was quick.
But nevertheless, really quick.
The Nazis did public executions? Are you an idiot?
Hold on, dude. I don't know if Nazis allowed fucking 5-year-olds to watch it. I have no idea about that part. All right.
So leading to Hitler, you.
Jeez, Mel, calm the fuck down, dude. Chill the fuck out. All right. I don't know if that like okay. No, listen, bro. I'm saying I don't know if the Nazis allowed 5-year-olds to watch executions or any of this shit. Maybe they did. Yeah, probably so. Okay, fine. Forever. Whatever. I don't give a shit. Listen. A $2 super chat comes in from Adam. Mel's heat on Kirk is so lame. Thank you so much for that. That's on your end right there, Jesus. But yeah, we can continue on with the video. All right, chill out, Mel. Stop fucking losing your mind. All right. Stop losing your fucking. Okay, stop losing your mind though, bro. All right, chill the fuck out. I rewinded it 20 seconds. All right.
I feel like Jake's doing that on purpose. She's like, bro.
So that way we can hear what he said at a certain age.
And her 3 kids.
Castle was
exactly.
Trying to say something.
Oh, go ahead, Castle. You needed something?
Yes. Sorry, I had a. If I need a shout, just let me know. I didn't want to interrupt. Yeah, sorry. But I was just gonna say, like, to the point of what Kirk was saying, I guess you could really. I mean, the thing I kind of understand where Mel's coming from, and honestly, both sides is like where he says like he doesn't really give a specific age. Like you could say there's a certain age, and I think is that like when you go from 9 to 10 years old? Is it when you go from 70 to 8 years old?
That's the question. And Mel is trying to answer that question without the relevant information to answer the question. Shout out to Cheddar Steve over on Rumble. Said, which furries are most likely to do ATM? I have no fucking clue, but I support your search, sir. Just how do you take it in the ass with that bug costume on? Is there an easy access panel? You are very interested in gay sex, and I'm just not. But hey, to each their own. Welcome to the party. I said, if you're gonna host a panel like this, you need the ability to mute people if they go off the rails. That's what I was saying the whole time. I'm like, bro, mute her. Mute this fucking freak. We're trying to have a conversation, and you are and this is a very I think. Like Jake's channel is a little bit smaller than mine, but he's we're kind of the same kind of level. But in the same way that in Discord, like I was very reticent to want to ban anybody or time anybody out. I was like, oh, we're free speech, all that shit. But it became obvious that you can't just have that. You have to moderate at some point. Otherwise, people are just going to take advantage of the fact that you won't do anything. And it's going to, devolve into the people who are only there because of the fact that it's a place to talk shit. Speaking of which, let's take a little break. So if you guys are enjoying the show, the party rages on 24/7 over in our Discord. The link is pinned to the top of the chat and is absolutely free to join 24/7. We are in there hanging out, having a great time. And guys, it is absolutely free. However, if you are a member of this channel here on YouTube, you can scroll right below that video and hit that join button. Starts at $2.99. There's a few different tiers, but $2.99 will get you in. It gets you members only live streams here on YouTube, all that other good stuff. But it opens up the full Discord server. So we've got the free chat that is open to anyone. Anybody can join and talk. But as you can see, that is just one of our channels. There's a bunch of different channels here, including our Disciple chat for members only, our Word of the Day watch party, where we're talking about all this stuff. And of course, we have the voice channel here, where we are hanging out at this moment in the after party. Shout out to everybody in the Discord server. Say hello and tell them to come and join.
Hello, come and join.
There you go, guys. Simple as that. See you there. And remember, guys, that after party you just saw is for members only. But if you click the pinned link, or Nick just dropped the link as well, if you click that before the end of the stream, you can come hang out with us in the after party for the day. You get a free day pass. You get to check out the whole server. But either way, it is free to join. That is what this is really all about, guys. We see the effect of something like Turning Point USA, and I am not claiming that I'm going to be the next Charlie Kirk, but I would sure as shit like to try to do something like that. And if you are in the business of wanting to fix America, but you're just some dude, some chick, some furry, I don't give a fuck. If you care about America and you want to be able to make discourse in this country better, click the fucking link. It is free.
18 years old, so like, I guess you could really make an excuse there. But to the point of the public execution point, I think if we're talking about toning down rhetoric, I think the
Nope. Here's the thing. By you taking the extra effort in your mind to be like, oh, look, that's a guy. You're buying, and this is what I was saying to Guamtech earlier about playing into the bullshit. I see the name Melanie. Melanie is a girl's name. That's the end of my care for what your pronouns are. I don't care if it aligns, and I don't care if it doesn't. If this same person walked up to me and looked like a dude and I started using male pronouns, then that's what it would be, because I'm not using extra brain power to play into your delusion. I see what I see, and I talk how I talk. So I see a girl's name, so I say girl, she, whatever. If you look like a dude, I'm going to call you a dude. If you use a girl's name and I can't tell what you look like, then just like any other actual girl on the internet who I can't see what she looks like and uses a girl name, I'm going to use she pronouns because it's easier for me. It's easier for me. I don't do things based on other people's thoughts and desires and shit. And, obviously, unless it's people close to me like that. But that's not what we're talking about. I'm not calling her out of respect. I'm calling her because I don't give a shit enough to think about it.
Point.
I didn't mean that to come off as like a, but you're not the first person to say.
I think if we're talking about toning down rhetoric, I think the worst thing would probably be to start publicly executing and shooting people. I mean, I saw the video of Charlie Kirk getting shot. It was disgusting. I would never want to see that again. And I understand, like, you're doing this for criminals, but still, there's so many things out there. There are people out there who are literally on death row who then get off death row. They become the Innocence Project and all that. I'm not saying everybody is on that as innocent, but like, the trouble there is I don't want to start watching people get put to death. That's going to not really tone things down in my mind.
Fair enough. Tyler, you had something.
All right, I want to address the baby back bullshit that I heard when we brought up Nambla here, because Nambla seems
Tyler for the win.
To be on the left. And just like when Kyle Rittenhouse shot 3 random left wingers, he hit a pedophile and 2 wife beaters. I think that we need to go over and review the morality of the person that says Charlie Kirk dying is a good thing.
So where's your proof that Nambla's on the left?
The fact that all of the principles are explicitly not in line with the right. That's how that works.
It's also not in line with the left.
There's no paper that says Nambla's on the left, so therefore they're not on the left. We did break the dam. I actually did say fag by accident, so we're here. And Guamcheck says, you're all they, thems to me, faggots. Let's go! We are taking our language back.
It's also not in line with the left.
There's no paper that says Nambla's on the left, so therefore they're not on the left.
That was
it's not in line with the left either.
Looks like a lady. Why does it say that? But you can take actually, no, this is a good point, actually. There's no paper that says Nambla's on the left, so therefore they're not on the left.
That was
it's not in line with the left either.
Why does it say that? But you can take this crazy interpretation.
Hey, are you going to tell this guy to calm down at any point?
Shut the fuck up. You can take it.
No, you're going to let him have a temper tantrum, but not me?
Bitch, you've been temper tantruming this whole fucking time. And this is the same thing that, what was I just saying?
Not in line with the left either.
Why does it say that? But you, this is when we were talking about Kilmar Abrego Garcia. I'm like, where's the sayings MS-13 on his fucking hands? What are you talking about? Oh, it doesn't say MS-13, so therefore you have no idea what these widely used symbols mean. Stupid. Shut the fuck up and stop coping so fucking hard. Yep. Live for 5 minutes and Nambla entered the damn debate. Yeah. I don't even remember how that came in, but yeah. Weird.
It's also not in line with the
left.
left.
There's no paper that says Nambla's on the left, so therefore they're not on the left.
That was
it's not in line with the left either.
Why does it say that? But you can take this crazy interpretation.
Are you going to tell this guy to calm down at any point?
Shut the fuck up. You can take this.
No, you're going to let him have a temper tantrum, but not me.
Well, he's responding here. Okay, I'm letting everybody talk. Just chill out.
Actually, I wasn't done.
Shout out to DJ Isolated. Welcome to the party. Said I hate furries. I don't know a lot of furries, but this one fucking sucks for sure. Oh yes. So we were talking about how Charlie was saying that at a certain age you should be able to see public executions. And then this fucking weirdo, but at a certain age, young boys become attractive. Even though that's a weird fucking thing to bring up, it still reinforces the point. That means not little kids, according to Nambla, but eventually, as they grow, according to Nambla, they become more attractive. And I'm the weird one. Okay, dude.
Well, he's responding here. Okay, I'm letting everybody talk. Just chill out.
Actually, I wasn't done. I was saying that just because Nambla doesn't agree with the right doesn't mean they have to agree with the left. They also disagree with the
no. Actually, you were done because you asked a question and then I answered the question.
left. The left does not like pedophiles.
Okay, there you go. I'll shoot it out to you, Indian. This is another super chat for IndianJesus. Starch Manning says Project 2025 Christian nationalists, dorks plus racist old billionaires equals not patriots. Don't care about the Constitution, supremacists, not democratic. That's thank you so much for that. As well. Indian, did you finish your thought here? Or
yep, I'm good.
Okay, Tyler.
Weeks ago, there was a transgender individual being chased by ICE in New York City who sexually assaulted a 14-year-old in the bathroom. So I would say that PDF files tend to be left-wing quite a bit more often, and
do they?
We saw, who was Jeffrey Epstein donating to and pounding around with for 50 years, long after Trump banned him from his club, huh?
Catholic priests or left-wing sports coaches tend to be left-wing. Got it.
Catholic priests, you see 10 times the rate of child molestation in public schools and churches. Get the fuck out of here with that baby back bullshit.
Even though it's
baby back
by the right wing, but
love is love. Cross-generational relationships is the same paper that gender theory came from. Sexualizing kids to say that they know their sexualization so much.
Doesn't mean those papers agreed. So you're
6, they know what gender they are. That also means
there's actually more white people. There's actually more white guys your age who have molested children. So I think you're also I think you're a PDF.
I think you're a PDF. That's a little level of argumentation I can bring to the table. I think you're a PDF because I don't like what you're saying. Come on. Yeah, exactly. This goes all the way back to what I first said, and that it's not necessarily about looking at the actions, it's about looking at the reactions.
Based on what I've said,
gender theory.
Based on what I've said,
okay, Mel.
Based on what I've said, that there are more people your age who have molested children. I think you're a pedophile.
All right, so let's chill out on the name calling, Mel. That has nothing to do with anything.
Oh, well, he just title jacketed all trans people, so it goes both ways.
Okay, all right, that's the argument there. It is what it is. Is everybody ready to move on with the reaction?
Oh, okay, whatever the fuck you gotta say
here, because so far I haven't heard Charlie Kirk saying that he wants 5-year-olds or children in general.
Me neither.
To
I haven't heard him say only adults though either.
Okay, well we'll finish we'll finish it right now, really quickly. Emerald Gibbs, $10 super chat. Thank you so much for the $10. Richard Spencer is absolutely a left-leaning socialist who advocates for all sorts. Can I just get through this chat, bro? Hold on before you reply to him. Richard Spencer is absolutely a left-leaning socialist who advocates for all sorts of socialist policies. NAMBLA was the internationally recognized LGBTQ advocate and rights organization. All right, you can go ahead and reply to that, Mel.
You need to get Gibbs up here if you want to send him a link. I can if that's okay. But
AKA, I can't respond, so I'm going to say you on your channel should bring this person up to directly address a question that isn't relevant to the debate. So they're not going to do that. AKA, I'm not going to give him an answer.
But secondly, I know I was complaining about it being a dog pound.
Yeah, well, hold on. Yeah, you were complaining about that, Mel. So and now you want to bring Gibbs? He's gonna yeah, no, he's gonna rip you a fucking new one. You bring him on here, dude. Like it's gonna get crazy, and you're not gonna let him talk. So I don't think that's a good idea.
On here. Also, I just want to point out, Yahtzees totally supported Trump's policy, so I guess that and Charlie Kirk's rhetoric. So I guess that means that they're both Yahtzees. Thank you for playing.
Thank you for playing. Oh my god, like I just won.
Okay.
Oh shit! Mel just won everything.
I do it more than you realize.
I know, right? You're just like, I mean, we're on this plane of existence. You're just like out there, crazy.
Who did the wow thing? That was awesome. That was funny. Okay. You've got a good soundboard technique. I can give you some respects for that. Have you heard the yippee sound bite? Because that one's really funny. It's like a really high pitch, like yippee.
No, but can we get back to what we're talking about, or are you just trying to
acknowledge?
Was that fair? I feel like I've been getting shit all day, and Tyler's like, well, trying to be nice, but I feel like that was fair.
Acknowledge my sound bite.
I like it. Mel trying to come back into the fold. I appreciate it. Thank you for the candor.
I didn't fight it. And I did say thank you.
There you go. All right, let's move on with the react. I did rewind it 20 seconds because Mel did ask for that, so just bear with it here.
Well, I think at a certain age, it's an initiation.
16, if you can drive, you can.
No, but
watch
hold on.
it.
You see,
16,
if
I would
all of a
say-
sudden you look at some of these savages, like in Indiana, there was this guy that went in and killed a pregnant woman and her 3 kids.
Yeah.
And you know what? I want to watch that execution. That'll make my day better. I want to see him on a public block and get him be publicly executed. And I think that would be justice. You think children should have? You should see it. What is the age? At what age should you start to see public execution?
16.
I think you could do it earlier. I think you maybe at age 12,
Whenever-
6th grade or so.
Okay, so it's the co-host. So the co-host is saying 12. The other guy said 16.
Person,
Can I just point something out?
Yeah.
Since you paused it, don't you?
I think I felt on a fucking, well, it was 4 hours, but it was there for like 3 hours. Yeah, I'm doing the fucking hard work, so you guys don't have to. I'm out here slaying these fucking trans furries, so you don't have to. And all I'm asking for is 99 fucking cents.
You think that if he disagrees with his co-host, he would say something here?
Well, he's letting them talk, like the way
It's journalists.
journalists. It doesn't matter. He doesn't have to be outraged.
He's a bad
Oh, this was a good point from Jake.
host.
Yeah, like me. I'm a bad host. I let people talk. I'm sorry. I'm a bad host. So really quick.
That's the
He
issue.
might get there. He might get there in the video. So you just maybe push.
Yeah, just let it.
Hey, shout out to TV Viewerski. Oh my goodness. We've got another $10 PayPal. My goodness gracious. Thank you. Where's my applause? Thank you so very, very much. Marty's not been feeling well, but he's been taking the treats. I tried to give him one earlier and he didn't take it. He didn't want it. But you guys have brought him back to life. And of course, we've got a new sponsor of the stream. Thank you so very, very much, sir. And of course, welcome to the party. Debate review from Saturday.
Quick.
Oh, that's the issue.
He might get there. He might get there in the video. So you just maybe push.
Yeah, just let it go. But again, your claim was that it's young children. It's the bald guy that's saying 12 years old, and I disagree with that. But
It's maybe not even 16 is what Charlie said.
yeah, did he say that? Maybe not even 16.
Yep.
He said if you're old enough to drive, which might mean 16, but I still think that still counts as children.
Okay,
Also,
so when
no,
he
I-
argued that,
let me point something
you
out.
tried to present this as that he wants to force young children to
What do you
watch
think public means?
executions, and we've seen exactly, and I'm happy
What do you think
to continue.
public means?
I'm happy to continue watching this because I'm very confident that it will back up my position that you made that shit up in your mind because you hate him.
Well, yeah, like no, you did say force. You did say force. He's not saying that we should force young children. You did say force,
Okay.
like.
But what do you think public means? Do you think that means that there's an age?
Yeah, like on the
it?
internet. Yeah. Well, I would say that there should be an age restriction. I agree with that. But however,
I'm not even in favor of the
public,
death
right?
penalty. I'm just saying that it's not what Charlie is saying. Yeah, like I am not in favor of the death penalty. But if we were to do the death penalty and we were to do what Charlie is saying, it has nothing to do with what Melanie was framing it as. Hey, shout out to Guam Tech. You make a good, strong argument, sir. I appreciate it. That is what I try to do. And guys, that is over a third of the way there to the goal. That is 6 out of 15 and 22 out of 50. Not quite halfway, but I think we can hit the goal, guys. I think we can do it. I believe in you. Thank you so very, very much, sir.
however,
I'm not even in favor of the death penalty. I'm just saying that it's not what Charlie is saying.
But then it won't be public, right? Like at that point, because you can't do things in public without children seeing. That's your whole contention with Pride.
Like for example, public as in like I was thinking public as far as televised, because that's what Charlie said, like televised. That's what I'm thinking. He said public. He never said like on the streets for everybody to see. He said public, like televised. So that's the what?
He also said in the streets.
Did he say in the streets?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you know what? We've been
You want to step to me? Up to the streets. Step into the streets. Up to me. What is that from?
Host and Charlie. I'll admit, maybe I've done that a couple times.
How does that change the principle? He's not
It
trying to force anyone to do
You
anything
can't
about it.
protect kids from seeing that. That's your whole issue with Pride.
Well, no, you could definitely protect kids from not seeing pride parades by not letting them go there. like that's very simple. So
duh.
No, yeah, I would say that if you're going to do a public execution, now I'm not saying I'm for it, but if you're going to do it, yes, you would have to have age restrictions to make sure children are not around, or underage children, whatever the case is, whatever the age limit is, are not around to see it.
Checking IDs at the gate. You know, like a bar or a club or anywhere else children aren't allowed.
Okay, but in pride parades, it's a family friendly organization where they have guys walking around with their ding dongs out. I would say that could be prevented if parents didn't just bring their kids there, and it's advertised as a family friendly event. So it could be prevented. It could be prevented. Yes.
You're mad at the parents for bringing them there. Just to be clear.
Yes.
Yeah. Parents shouldn't be bringing them there, and they shouldn't be.
I mean, I'm also mad at people doing weird shit in public, but like, there's less of like, if you're gonna go off and do some weird shit off in public and block shit off and let people know, hey, we're gonna be doing some weird shit. Like, I don't love it, but this is America. It's not about what fucking Lutch wants. It's about freedom. But when you then ask the organizers to say things like fucking family friendly, no, thank you.
They shouldn't be walking around with their ding dongs out in a quote unquote family friendly
actually
parade.
Pride,
but
like I know I can lead you on, but that doesn't actually happen at Pride.
Okay.
It doesn't happen. Don't believe your lying eyes. None of the videos that you saw from any of the Pride parades just a couple months ago. It was just a couple months ago. You saw the videos, but that didn't happen. Isn't that so convenient? How every single time we see a video of something that hurts the left, just didn't happen.
Let's not get into the Pride thing there, but you asked for a comparison because you're the one that brought it up. I'm just addressing it right now. But again, Charlie, at this point, he's not saying that they're forcing kids. He's not advocating for force.
I never said he was. So
you did. No,
I didn't.
Okay. What was your claim? Go ahead and say it again.
I already said it. If you didn't listen to me, then you don't deserve to hear to God.
Charlie said what?
Watching a public execution is a ritual, is an initiation ritual. Does that make Charlie Kirk's kids initiated?
Well, when is he gonna?
What? This is the troll aspect of it's like you can ask that question in such a way that you're saying like, okay, so is it a? I don't even. It's very clear that was supposed to be a bombastic question after all this time about, oh, Trump and his rhetoric was so bombastic. I'm going to do the same thing, but also call it out for him, but also excuse it for me. You can't make this shit up. That's why you guys need to watch this. Because as much as you think that they're stupid and crazy, it's not as bad, or it's worse than you think, rather.
Does that make Charlie Kirk's kids initiated?
Didn't happen.
Well, when is he going to rant about initiating kids by watching that?
He's already said it's an initiation ritual.
It was kind of a throwaway comment. Does he go into any more detail for clarification on what he meant by that?
Well, Jake, I have some news for you.
I don't know what he meant by that.
He doesn't even know when to host and when to debate.
No, but I'm asking you. We can look at the full context. Does he talk about the ritual?
All right, so since, again, this kind of goes around in circles for a while, and since you guys did keep the party raging, we will go to the 1v1 between me and the Fox. Now, Jake, I do have a little bit of criticism that if you're going to say, all right, let's do 1v1, then sit the fuck out. But, let's back it up to here. Let's see what we got. Quamtech on the panel. Shout out to Quamtech. back.
You're politically illiterate.
Oh, I'm happy to give you the floor again to explain what you mean. What was the fascism? Oh, okay, we got to back this up more.
I'm talking about 2016 because he's been called Hitler since fucking 2015, bro.
Okay, so the what Mel is putting forward is that the left tried to be nice, but then the right did fascism, and so they had to react to that. That's where we're at.
So again,
Jake, you said one thing, and I said yes. That also.
Okay, but let's talk about that first. One point at a time. One point at a time. You're talking about immigration.
Another gish gallop.
Okay, so one point at a time. You said because he wanted to build a big, beautiful wall. His words, right? In 2015, he was running on that. He won in 2016 for that.
That's not what I told him.
Well, yeah,
it's always comes. No, nuh-uh, not what I said. Nuh-uh, no. Well, then fucking say the thing. If we're all so stupid, why are you not able to articulate your point?
You said immigration, the invasion, etc. Right?
Yeah. And
So,
he does your great replacement theory, not talking about
yeah, but no, the great replacement theory didn't come in until a lot later.
You're confusing great replacement theory with border security.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Wake up mind said, do you think a person with a large audience has a large response to what they say? I don't know what that question means. Do they have a responsibility with what they say? Everybody has a responsibility with what they say. Does a large audience imply they are correct? No.
You brought up the border, dude.
You're politically illiterate.
So I'm happy to give you the floor again to explain what you mean. What was the fascism?
I did.
If
go
I
back
could
into
jump in here,
saying that
I know words with more than 3 syllables. Just go right in one ear and right out the fucking other.
All right, so
projection. I asked, what is the fascism? So under 3 syllables, and we've been going at this for a while. I skipped over a bunch of it because it's just this.
I was not going to answer. That's fine. That's fine.
Another
Castle, you had something to say.
Wait, Jake, that was dishonest as a host. I did answer, so fuck yourself.
Okay, fine, because of illegal immigration. All right, fine. Castle, you had something to say.
Oh yeah, so that was. She kept saying that when I was asking about what is the fascism, she'd bring up illegal immigration or the border wall or something. And then I would say, okay, so you're saying that being against illegal immigration is fascism. She said, no. Okay, so then what is the fascism?
Again, dishonest. I said,
okay, fine.
Voting the great replacement theory.
Okay, you got it. Just talk over. That's
over all things.
All right, guys. All right. All right, really.
This definition down. What is the fascism? She brought up illegal immigration. So I'm asking, or is it your position? Is it your position that being against illegal immigration is fascism?
No.
Okay. And why did you bring that up? So what is the fascism? What is the fascism? So we're trying to ask.
I didn't. That is not all I brought up. Your dishonest host is framing it that way. So people like you can do argumentation.
That you were. So that's why I'm asking you, and you take the time to complain instead of just explain. Gish galloping and specifically that was the only thing that you brought up. You bring up 7 million different things, and we're trying to
low effort argumentation
down on one so that we can actually try to understand. So that
low
you can
effort argumentation.
All right,
don't mean anything.
All right, IndianJesus. All right, we could. Yeah, let's go. Castle, you had something to say.
Yeah. So just in that point. To you, Jake, like I think back in 2015, a lot of the rhetoric Trump espoused was obviously he wasn't in office, so we didn't know what he was going to do. But I do think a few examples of back then that he did say that I think would espouse some type of authoritarian or fascist-like speech would be when he talked about "I alone can fix it," or the press are the enemy of the people. And I think that's where people are saying, well, you're starting to encroach on First Amendment rights or free speech rights. And so I think that has evolved now into more obvious instances. Obviously he's been president twice now, but I think maybe back in 2015, those are like the few examples are like endorsing violence at his rallies or I'll knock the crap out of them and I'll pay for your fees, or targeting certain people. Like in his first speech, I think he was, calling the Mexican folks like rapists, and
that's not what he said though,
and all that stuff. So I think there were certain threats that he made and some certain speech that he made that may have influenced that type of feeling.
Okay, so really quick, Indian, I'll shoot it to you. He did mention about the Mexicans, and I already know where you're going with it. I'll give the floor to you to address those types of claims.
So,
all right, guys, I am putting up a poll, depending on how much of this you guys want to see. So I like personally, I want to already just go through the rest of this for my own benefit, and I'm gonna do that live because why not? But the question is, do you want me to, do you want this to be the Wednesday show is just what we didn't see here, or Should I just do that on my own time and do something different for Wednesday? Let me know. DV said, complain, not explain. New t-shirt. Also, clip. I've already got 16 clips from this. And I'm about half hour further on my own than I am on this stream. So we gonna get some goodies. The problem is that I can't, I got so many that I can't just keep, putting out the clips of the same stream. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. But clips aplenty.
I'll give the floor to you to address those types of claims.
So I'll
60-40 with 5 votes, guys.
All to say is I would have stayed longer, but I'm pretty sure at this point you're going to keep allowing people like Indian to say I didn't answer something when I actually did, which is just a bullshit debate tactic you all learned from Andrew Wilson, who can't actually win a debate against me. So when you can do better, you can slide into my DMs for a 1v1 debate and actually prove your fucking worth. Because as far as I can tell, the only person here who actually has any debate skills is Hassel, and he didn't get to respond enough night because I'm.
Hold on, I could do a 1v1. Who's got Mel on Discord? Who's got Mel on Discord? Let's go 1v1. Holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit. I would love that. I would love that. Any of you can moderate. I don't give a shit. They can bring a moderator. I don't give a fuck. Let's do it. Does anybody have Melanie Cosmic Fox on any social media? Please. And again, guys, we are now 50-50 on the poll. If you guys don't choose, I will.
The only person here who actually has any debate skills is Hassel, and he didn't.
Just in case you don't know what that means I don't have to do any work if we cover this on Wednesday. So
get to respond enough night because I'm
really the guy who agrees with you. Wow, it's almost
so
like
Mel doesn't always agree with me, you dumb fuck.
So Mel,
you are actually stupid. Like, how are you this
stupid? The adult can talk.
What's it like waking up? What's it like being up? What's it like being waking up?
Okay, guys.
Terminally wrong. What's it like waking up being terminally wrong?
Right.
Like, being wrong is like your disease. And
projection. Ugh. I don't even want to know what that is. Let's okay, we do.
Okay, you know what that we'll give them 5 minutes alone for everybody. 5 minutes alone from Pantera. You guys got it? All right, I'll see you guys
7 minutes in heaven.
Say that again, Angry.
5 minutes alone.
Yeah. There you go.
You definitely do that.
I laughed because I thought I was supposed to. I'm not familiar with the song. Sorry.
Yeah, for sure. I need to put it on the soundboard.
And so I wish, this is when Jake is at his worst. Jake, I love you, buddy. I very much appreciate being on the panel, but Mel was right that you really did take part in this debate, and you were not a moderator. And then you give us the floor, the two of us, and then this happens.
All right, let's start off with the claim here, Mel. So I want to say the question originally was, what's the actual fascism, and we could just reframe it here. What's the fascism that Donald Trump is doing?
That's not the question I was asking, and
I'm asking because that was the original question that Jesus asked, right?
So like I said, what's going on here is you're going to pretend like I don't answer questions while you don't answer any of
you don't.
My questions.
Okay, this is why we're starting.
Jesus, answer word of my question.
Starting now, we will both answer each other's questions in good faith.
Okay,
as best as we can.
We'll do that. You know what? We don't even have to start off with that question. Mel, you can go ahead and start off the back and forth. All right.
I won't just ask my ad hom question because it was supposed to just be I was just going to ask Emily, but then you're trying to be amenable.
I've been trying to be amenable. If you would fucking get your head out your ass, you've been realizing this entire time I'm the only one who hasn't misgendered you. I'm the only one who hasn't talked about your trans or your furry or anything except the words that came out of your fucking mouth, you disrespectful scum.
So when Indian Jesus, when it comes to somebody who would be hypothetically fascist, is there any sort of degree where somebody can be so fascist that you would actually be against their politics?
Of course.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I'm glad you said yes. That's it.
Oh, burn! That's it. So
okay, so go ahead, Indian.
I'm in favor of fascism.
Well, you have a question too, so I'm letting you do it. I'm not going to keep going on.
So, I'm just based on that question, that tells me that this whole time you thought that the opinions I was giving go down. If you drill down on them, that I would be okay with fascism.
It's not representative of that because I'm not necessarily. I wasn't using that the whole time. I was asking that because I need to think of a question that wasn't the slightly derogatory question I was going to ask before.
Okay, so you're making a further point?
I'm waiting for you to ask your question.
I didn't. So we started off, and Jake was like, "I'm going to ask the question," and I was like, "No, I need to ask. That wasn't the question I was asking." that asked a stupid question and they got mad. I'm waiting for you to ask your question. These are the worst type of people in existence. Making a further point?
I'm waiting for you to ask your question.
I didn't. My question was, what is the fascism? You said there was fascism that was a reaction to the left. What is the fascism? You brought immigration, and then you said no, that is just not fascism. So yet again,
I didn't say immigration. What I said is that when we start to see populist politicians prioritize the nation, nationalism over all things, and they talk about it being under threat through things like great replacement theory, things like transgender ideology, and talking about an enemy that's supposed to be simultaneously weak and strong, and they can't seem to figure it out, on top of saying that we need authoritarian measures to remedy them.
Okay, but you can understand the difference between being physically weak and socially strong by having numbers, right?
Sure, but what about everything else?
So the point is that, and I'm not even engaging in this, but when people are making fun of, the left is so weak and whatever, I mean, look at me, I'm not in the position to say any of that. But you're presenting that as, well, how can they be weak and strong at the same time? They're individually weak, and as a group, because they are cult-like, they have strength in the cult mentality.
Except fascists don't really seem to care about the individuals. They only talk about the collective, and they'll talk about them as being either weak or strong as a collective.
Okay, I agree with that statement. I'm not really sure how that's relevant to what I just said.
Oh, because Trump does the same thing, and that's how I know Trump is a fascist.
How so?
With immigration, for example, like he'll talk about
So again, we are back on immigration. When you explicitly said, no, how stupid of you to think when I asked the question, what is the fascism? And you brought up illegal immigration for you to think that I meant illegal immigration.
I know Trump is a fascist.
How so?
With immigration, for example, like he'll talk about terrible people can't do anything, blah, 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 but somehow they're organizing to cross the borders and shit like that, right? Or just Mexicans in general.
Can we stick there? Because again, this is the exact misunderstanding that I had before, and that's why. And again, framing it as I'm the one misunderstanding. I know that I'm not misunderstanding. I know it's just not making any sense, but I'm trying. Can we stick there? Because again, this is the exact misunderstanding that I had before, and that's why I asked you: is it your position that being against illegal immigration is fascism?
And what did I say last time?
You said no, but now you're bringing
it up. Oh my God, finally figured it out.
Bringing it up again. So that's why I'm confused, because you said no, and then you brought it up as an example of the fascism. I'm asking you.
No, I brought it up as an example as talking about the enemy as being simultaneously strong and weak.
So what is the fascism? And that's not. So
I think, let's take one point at a time. Mel is also saying that because Trump is shooting out the rhetoric about transgenders, that would also be fascism. Is that accurate?
No, that's reactionary. However,
that's reactionary.
I brought it up under the context of having an enemy that is a threat to the nation itself, even though if you look at trans people, there's no way we're overthrowing a fucking nation.
I thought this was about immigration.
What's really going on here is that Trump is using great replacement theory and nationalistic populism like fascists tend to do.
So the great replacement theory would be letting in, for example, Joe Biden that let in 5 million illegal immigrants, 10 million encounters at the border, that he's letting in all these. That he's letting in all these people because they want.
Guys, just remember the poll is at 50-50. So I'm going to make a decision if it's at 50-50. If you guys want to see something else, I'm just letting you know. I'm choosing this if it's 50-50.
That he's letting in all these. That he's letting in all these people because they want votes, right? The Democratic Party is using. Hold on. This is the great replacement theory. I'm just explaining it, bro. I'm just
the host, dude.
I'm just explaining the great replacement theory, so that way.
Was it more or less than Trump? I want to hear you make that declaration. Was it more or less than Trump that Biden let the amount of immigrants?
So remember, this was supposed to be 1v1.
That Biden let in.
Was it what exactly? What's your question?
Or less than Trump from 2016 to 2020.
Oh, it was that let in. Yeah, Biden let in approximately around 5 million illegal immigrants that stayed within the interior after he left office. When it came to Trump, it was around 1 million. It's not even close. So Biden did let in a lot more than Donald Trump. So
it's impossible because they not only did they let in fewer of them, they had just as many deportations as.
So
can I play now?
But I could address that. It doesn't matter.
I'm not done because ICE basically had the same mandate, and get this: more immigrants were turned away at the border under Biden than Trump in 2016.
I wonder if that has to do with the insane amount of people that were approaching the border under Biden.
And I'll explain that. So again, look, the numbers don't tell the full story here. When you're talking about encounters at the border, because we're talking about encounters, right? Encounters at the border under Joe Biden was 10 million. He was encounters 20,000. I think it was 20,000 a day. under Joe Biden on average. Okay. So because there's so many encounters at the border, hold on, let me finish, bro. Let me finish. Because there was so many encounters at the border, it's expected that a lot of them are going to get through into the interior of the United States after the administration is done. We look at Donald Trump's. I'm not done, bro.
Politically expedient.
I wanted Indian Jesus to kind of go. Indian Jesus to go back and forth with you, but now you're just spreading nonsense here because you're asking me questions. So again. When it comes to Trump's now administration, we're looking around 7,000 encounters at the drastic difference there. So again, if he had the same policies and that you're claiming, obviously there's something else there that
Jake said he's down to moderate 1v1, me and Mel.
Joe Biden was whatever the rhetoric was, they were allowing a lot of.
Okay, I'm just gonna skip something.
Tend to vote. I'm not done. So
that I want.
and I'm just explaining it, and now you're arguing with me. And you're literally arguing with me.
You have me on your platform, and you're not exactly asking the specific questions that I want to answer. Oh no!
Mel, you're the one making it. You is wrong about so you place on a component that I'll answer mine.
Yes, I do.
You're so again, so that theory.
Great reaction. Reset. Let's reset. You said before. I mean, okay. Technically, you didn't say that you were going to answer Jake's questions, but you did say you were going to answer my question. So let's just go. Me and you. Jake's going to take a cigarette. It's me, just me and you. All right.
No, wait.
Me and you. Hold on. Slow down.
This is the host fault, you fucking bootlicker. Why aren't you mad at the host for interrupting the conversation? I'm asking you a question. Why aren't you mad at the host for interrupting the conversation?
I just told him that that's not a good thing to do and to let us have the conversation. Maybe if you're paying attention, then you fucking understand that.
You were probably talking over me, but I missed that.
So again. More excuses. You were probably talking over me. Yeah, because you don't shut the fuck up. So again, I'm asking you, what is the fascism that the left is reacting to?
So when the populist right.
So again, remember the claim was that the everything we see from the left is a reaction to fascism initially from the right. Left is reacting to.
So when the populist right. Stop me when I use words that are too big for you, right? So when the populist right centers everything around nationalism and says the nation is under attack by things such as Great Replacement Theory, wokeism, and what they say we need to do is put all of that power into the single authoritarian charismatic leader, then we are starting to do something known as approaching fascism. Do you know what approach means? I just want to make sure about that because that's a key.
Maybe not. So approaching means that you're not there, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Because I'm not describing everything. No, I just haven't described the Trump administration in every detail yet.
What is not approaching fascism? I'm asking you, what is the fascism? We can get into discussion. Oh, see, the difference is when it's 1v1, she can't hide behind fucking other bullshit. There's other people there that are trying to get in and whatever, and so I have to be nice to them so that I don't become the Mel of the panel. But if it's just me and her, oh baby, that would be fun for all. It's not approaching fascism. I'm asking you, what is the fascism? We can get into discussion. I don't love everything that
things I described turn into a reduction of civil liberties for the American people and positive, and by which I mean active,
maybe Mel,
political legislation which enforces fascist ideals such as nationalism.
So okay. Again, I'm not being facetious. I'm genuinely trying to understand you. So are you saying that nationalism is fascism?
No, not all nationalists are fascists, but all fascists are nationalists.
So maybe he's a non-fascist nationalist?
No, because he does all the other things.
Then what is the fascism? I am just asking that same question.
I'm answering you right now. He does other things that actually make him even more aligned with fascism.
Such as?
It even more. Pointing to Great Replacement Theory and woke ideology as enemies of the state and talking about how we need an authoritarian set of solutions to remedy it.
Okay, so talking about the Great Replacement is fascism?
What was my answer last time? Do you think that might apply here?
I honestly don't know. I have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
You're really bad with cognitive flexibility. All
right.
Sorry, I'm not as smart as you, but I'm just trying to understand what you're saying. What is the fascism? You keep saying things, and then I say, oh, so that's the fascism? And you say, no, that's not fascism. I say, okay, so what is the fascism? And then you say, this is the fascism? No, that's not the fascism. Okay, what's the fascism?
That's too big for your small brain.
So Mel, really quickly.
So I need you to dumb it down for me.
So really quick, Mel, can we take it one?
Yet another good tactic that they think, oh, you're just too dumb to get it. You're like, okay, yeah, maybe I'm too dumb to get it. So dumb it down for me. Oh, you can't, because you know what the fuck you're talking about.
Point at a time, please. 1 point at a time. You mentioned fascism. I'm sorry. Great replacement.
We're gonna go until the other panelists come back, unless, of course, somebody keeps a party raging.
In theory, is a component to fascism. Cool. It's a component. Let's talk about just that one component first. Prove that first, and then we can move on to the other topics. That's what I'm trying to get to. This is why I said let's define it.
You agree? Well, just to start. Do you agree H-Man was a fascist? I'm not saying that that's the benchmark. I'm just asking you. Yes.
Again, why is this a relevant question? Unless you're expecting that maybe, potentially, I'm going to say that Hitler was not a fascist, then why would you think that? Why would you think that I would even want to, if I did believe that I would be stupid enough to say that on the internet? For the record, I don't believe that he wasn't a fascist. I do absolutely accept that he was a fascist. But what are you doing?
H-Man? Oh, you mean H-Man? Yeah, I got you. Yeah, he was a fascist. Yeah.
Okay. So when he was,
and that was a question to me, Jake,
saying that Jews are coming to replace us. Do you see how he was using great replacement theory?
That's okay. So you're saying okay, fine. All right. Let's say yes.
That's where the whole blood in the soil thing. So now do you see the parallels that people on my side are pointing to?
Okay.
Yes, but they're just stupid. We've seen them the entire time. It's never been a problem of misunderstanding. It's been a problem of disagreement.
Okay, so you're saying because okay.
No, I don't.
Go ahead.
Can you tell me what those parallels are?
So the parallels are pointing to immigration as a form of great.
So now we're back to immigration. The question was, what is the fascism that the right did that the left was reacting to?
Replacement theory instead of just Jewish people, because at the time the only difference was Jewish people ended up making the majority of immigrants in Germany versus Mexicans being and South Americans being the majority of immigrants in America.
So again, maybe I'm wrong. I'm asking. I'm not telling. I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm just trying to understand. Are you saying that because H-Man had some ideals that may also align with the way that there's too many people coming into our country today, that by having those that through line, that it is fascist?
So if I'm giving you the totally honest answer, there are differences between fascism.
What do you mean if you're giving me the were you planning on not giving me the honest answer? These people say the weirdest things. Just say the thing.
Wait, if I'm giving you the totally honest answer, there are differences between fascism then and fascism we would see today, just fundamentally. But the more parallels Trump has with H-Man, the more he's approaching fascism in general.
So we're not at fascism. We're just approaching fascism.
Well, Trump has been acting things under legislation that would actually bring us there.
So really quick, we're going to go back to the panelists really fast. So I think that was a lot. So we got more or less the conclusion there. A lot there.
Yeah, Guam Tech, jump in there. Well, and with Wagelmine said there is no universally accepted definition of fascism. Nevertheless, it is possible to identify a number of general characteristics exemplified by fascist parties and movements between 1922 and 1945. Many countries and cultures have done their own versions of fascism. Now, if that is something that Melanie had said, that would be something I can engage with. But when I keep saying, what is the fascism? And she says, well, illegal immigration. It's like, okay, so being against illegal immigration is fascism. No. Like, okay, so then what's the fascism? And then we go in that circle over and over and over and over and over again. It's quite clear that who said it? That she just doesn't understand what fascism is. I don't know who the fuck said it, but very, very, very sad. Giant word salad with absolutely no substance whatsoever. But these people vote. These people affect how other people vote. If we collectively don't take this on, then they will get more influence. If you personally don't want to take this on, then support the people who do. Because it's not easy, and a lot of times it's not even fun. Like that one I had a good time with, but sometimes it's not. But it's got to be done. It's got to be done. And, I mean, I would love for higher level debate opponents, but I mean, for whatever you think, I debated Andrew Wilson, and that was a shit show too, because people don't know how to fucking talk. People don't know fucking words, and everybody's just out here trying to win points instead of actually debate ideas. But I can work through the sludge. I can work through the sludge. I got this. But again, I cannot do it alone. So a big shout out to all of the donations. Quantag twice. And we had, of course, who was it? We had, I can't, it was Equality and Deference over on Rumble with the PayPal. And of course, our sponsor, yet again, TV Viewerski. Thank you so very, very much. Since he's not feeling well, let's give him one more. Let's give him one more from all of you guys. And anybody who hit the like button, that is for you. If you have not already, please don't steal that treat. That treat is based on the tacit agreement that you will hit the like button and maybe even share the video. And if you really love me, leave a comment on the stream after it's done. Guys, thank you so very, very much for hanging out. I know you could be spending your time doing anything else in the world, especially when I'm watching my own shit. But yet you are here and we're doing something and we're making it happen. So I don't see anybody in the after party, but maybe somebody will show up. We will see. If not, once again, guys, that is Morty, and I have been your host, Lutch, a.k.a. the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, we are out of here. Peace.